Hello?
Din Thomas.
What's happening?
How are you? Stan the man here. Dennis the
What's up,
Menace.
Stan?
Woo!
What up, what up, what up?
What up?
I got about 15 minutes, boys.
That's all you get.
Oh, perfect. Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all.
Oh, we appreciate you. We ran a little bit late. We were talking to Austin Vanderford. You know the one who married Paige Van Zant?
Oh, yeah, Paige's guy, yeah.
Yeah. He's a beast, that dude.
Now, is it Dean or Din?
We went over this last
I
time.
know we did.
And what, you don't
It's
remember?
Dean. Nah, it's Dean. It's Dean.
Because I can spell, but not that good. Oh, not that well. My mom's in the other room. Sorry. My mom's here. Yeah, my mom's here.
Yeah.
Dean. And what what ethnicity are you? Where's that come from?
Man, I'm just straight African American, but I'm old. I'll be 43 next month. So like my parents, back in the 70s, that was like a very militant time for black people in Philly. So like they was naming their kids all these Muslim names.
Right.
Careful, man. This gonna come back around one day.
Well,
They gonna like
on this.
Dennis said.
Yeah, right. I said let him down slowly. Now, on the same token, if you put a woman that's already angry on their side, and you let them down nicely against their will, that might make them even more angry.
Yeah.
Ah, good point.
So this could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
I guess the moral of this story is
Yeah.
just don't touch women.
Yeah, the
Well-
moral of the story is you don't hate girls.
Well, I would hit her. If she came at me again, I'd hit her a duck under. Right now, I'm behind her, and I would just crab ride her.
Yeah.
Oh, you have younger brothers, right?
No, he's the baby. Where were you for that?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like you were trying to segue into Pat Cummins sweeping your girlfriend.
Oh, that happens.
Time. Yeah.
But like, have any of your brothers just like you're angry, right? You're like, I'm gonna tell mom or dad, and they just held you, and they're like, yo, I'll let go of you when you calm down. That ever happened to you?
No.
Wow.
The thing is with me, man, I don't get into like altercations with nobody.
Well, at a younger age, when you don't know, right? Like my younger
Yeah.
brother would be like, "Yo, I'm gonna tell dad." I'm like, "You ain't telling fucking nobody, because I'm just gonna hold. I will hold you here for 2 hours. I don't care. I will hold you until you calm down. I'm going to hold you against your will, where you can't move."
I think I was the one getting held against my will, actually.
That's what I
yeah,
asked
that
you.
was
That
me.
happened to you.
Yeah, that happened to me. I was like, oh, I'm telling. No, you're not going nowhere.
Calm down.
They'd hold my arms down.
Yep.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yep.
That
Calm
was
down.
bad.
And you'd go Hulk shit until they for 5 minutes. Then you use all your energy. They'd be like, all right, fine, I
Yeah.
ain't gotta tell nobody. Like, just let me go. Let me go play Nintendo.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dennis, how old are you?
32 years young.
32.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean, but you still. I think I don't know. I act young, so like I feel like I'm still like in your generation.
You are.
Yeah.
You like me and you have the same amount of freckles. Or I mean, wrinkles.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that.
Yeah.
But I might got more gray hair on my balls though. That's the difference.
Yeah, probably. Do you have any kids?
Yeah, I got a son. He's 14.
Oh wow.
Oh, he's grown.
Now I feel like for guys like me and you, that's the only thing that makes you feel a little old is when you feel a certain way and you're moving, you're doing things, you're talking to people, and then like, oh well, you're that old, and what? Like you're my kid that I had 14 years. Like, so that means I'm actually like kind of right.
Yeah, hey, you don't got kids, do you?
I got 2.
Oh, you do? How?
4 and 6.
Okay, see, that's nothing, right? So like,
Right.
yeah, that's you can still feel like a young guy when you got young kids that young. But like when you get older, right, you still do the same creepy shit. You know what I mean? Like you still looking at girls like,
Right.
you're looking at girls in a certain type of way, and then you're thinking like, holy shit,
Yeah.
she's like, she could be dating my son. You know? Like what the?
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, yeah. So it gets really creepy, and you're just like, oh, I'm that creepy old dude. And now I'm
Yeah.
thinking back, like, did my pop used to look at girls like that when you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Oh, he definitely.
Well,
did.
I mean, now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, he definitely does. I watch him do it now. He like,
Yeah.
I see him doing it, and he's smooth with it too. I'm like, damn, this dude still got it. If he wanted to, you know.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, like, Because I'm not there yet. Like, does like chick ever go by and now you're talking to yourself like, damn, you see that?
Yeah.
Or vice versa, like, yo, Pops, you see that? You're like, what? Nigga, you
Yeah.
like that? You like that? Like, I thought she had cooties to you.
Nah, man, that shit is, you right, man. That's wild. It's wild. You be talking to yourself about.
But the thing is like, I can't wait for that. I'm sure you're gonna tell me in a second, like it's gonna be here tomorrow.
Nah. I mean, it's gonna hit you, and you ain't gonna realize it until, like I said, till like my son just started high school. Like that's when it really kind of hit me. Like, holy shit, he's in high school now.
Because
like,
you remember when you were in high school, like it
yeah,
seemed like
exactly.
yesterday.
Yeah, because it seemed like yesterday. So and then like you'll see a girl that's like 19 years old. And you're like, well, that's over 18, so that's all good. But then I'm thinking, like, damn, I got a 14-year-old son.
Right.
Like, whoa.
She's more in his ballpark than mine.
Right.
You know?
And you don't realize that. Like, you don't realize that until you, like, really put it in perspective.
Right.
That you a creepy pervert. Damn.
I'm gonna be such a creep.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
I don't want to be a creep, but I can't.
Why, would you say you're creepy now, Din?
I try not to be.
Hang on. He's a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fight. Listen, I fight. I'm like every other guy. I fight it.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I fight it and lie about it.
Right. But to the homie though, like, oh damn, shorty would get it, whatever.
Yeah, right.
But you're not married, are you?
Yeah, I am. So like that's even worse.
That's
yeah.
a double. Yeah.
It's even worse.
Me and you were gonna be the same person one day.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you're just looking at the menu. You're not.
Yeah.
You ain't ordering shit.
Just browsing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you just browse and think about like what you could have done.
Well, yeah, you go back like, yo, if I was this age, or if I was single, and then you start playing with little scenarios in your head. That's it.
Yeah. So, Dean, did you get any work with Dustin Poirier before he leaves for Abu Dhabi?
Not much really. He's kind of, Dustin got his own little thing going, and like, in some way he might be a little superstitious, so he doesn't like a lot of change or a lot of new things or things to shake you up. So I didn't work with him much. I was around his camp, but I didn't do any work with him.
Which you understand that. You get it.
Yeah. You don't want to mess up a guy's flow. Like when things are working for him, you just kind of want to let him do his thing. So
I think one of the worst things that, or I think one of the things that makes a coach a bad coach is ego.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like, well,
100%.
hey, I know what's best for you, dude. Like, what do you mean? Like, no, you gotta check that shit. Cause I got some homies that I cornered a few times, and like they don't ask me to corner. I'm not like, yo, man, what's up? Like, you don't want me to corner you? Like, no, obviously, like, you've thought about it, because like that's whatever. I don't, and I also don't really care. It would have been awesome if I cornered you. Like, yeah, that'd be cool too. But like, I'm also not like, it's not gonna ruin my day. And
Yeah.
In the fight game, you've seen that, or you've probably experienced that too, being the fighter.
Yeah. It's as a coach, I mean that's one thing that I keep in check is my ego, because like I try not to live vicariously through these guys, and I try not to put my ego in front of them. I just give them what they need, and if they ask questions, I got them. If they don't, I'm just you do your thing. Go out there and fight your best fight.
I've seen these, and that's kind of like what you've been saying. I've seen these new videos that you've been putting out. That's a new thing for you, right? It's almost like a Motivation Monday type of thing, or like lessons from Dean.
Yeah, like I'll get inspired one day and be like, yeah, I got to tell my guys this, and then I'll forget. So what I was doing is I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put it on Instagram so everybody can get it.
Ooh, I love that.
Have you seen any of them?
I've seen one or two.
They're good. They're good.
Dean, can you let everybody know what your Instagram is so we can...
It's just Dean Thomas, D-I-N Thomas.
Boom. Like Frank Thomas,
very simple.
but just D-I-N first.
Yeah, like Frank Thomas, but just D-I-N Thomas. Very simple.
You guys related?
No, well, I'm sure somewhere down the damn path, we had some kinfolk together.
Kind of like you and Manny Bermudez.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere. You got the same last name. It's got to be somewhere in the DNA gene pool, somewhere.
Yeah, you and Manny, y'all gotta be somewhere around there. Y'all from the Northeast.
Probably closer than me and you are, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. And then you just play, even if it's not the case, you just play it off. Like, yeah, that's my cousin.
No,
yeah, we're family.
I fucks with that kid, man.
Yeah.
He fights hard, man.
Yeah. I'm saying.
Oh, Manny Bermudez?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, man. Like, I think he dropped his last one, but, you know, that happens. You know, he's a young guy, so that happens.
I'm saying even Dean, he could be like, Frank Thomas is my cousin. Me and Yves Edwards are half brothers.
Yeah.
You know, he's got so many.
They do that.
Yeah, I'm saying he's got so many things.
We
he
do
can
that.
Can you give me a story on when someone came up with like, yo, Yves, and you're like, you just ran with it?
Oh God, man, Charles Rosa. That's how I met Charles Rosa. Yeah, I swear to God, we were at there's an amateur show in Florida, one of the best amateur shows in Florida called The Rise of the Warrior, and we were there. And Cole Miller told Charles Rosa that I was Yves Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes up to me and he's like, man, that knockout that inspired me. You're one of my favorite fighters. I love you to death. And I was like, no problem, kid. Just you want an autograph or something? And
you get extra, when you're Yves Edwards, you get extra cocky.
Yeah. When I'm Yves, I get way cocky.
Yeah.
So then eventually, and I ran with it. I never said nothing. So then eventually, like a couple days later, Cole told him that I was actually Dean Thomas, and he was like, "Oh man, yeah, that's how I met Charles Rosa."
It's like Dean Thomas is super humble, but that Yves Edwards character, he's got like an ego about him. That guy.
Yeah, I know, I love it. But
That's
man,
amazing.
my boy, man, I just saw him a couple weeks ago in Atlantic City, man, and you know when I catch up with him, I'm always like, damn, I miss this guy. I wish we'd get together more.
Cause he used to train at ATT. He'd do a couple camps down there, or he'd come down for like a part of his camp.
Yeah, he would come down a lot. Actually, he spent a lot of time here.
That was his.
He actually lived here for a while.
Yeah, that was like his MMA training of his camp.
Yeah.
Cause he did things a little differently than anyone I've ever seen. He would He would go to California, only do boxing. He'd come to Long Island, and he was doing like only wrestling. But then he met me, started doing like a little, but it was wrestling focused. But a little MMA, and then he would put it all together down there at ATT.
Yeah, I mean, he come around. Like he brought you in. He brought you in that first time, right?
Yeah. That's how I met you. I met you the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, but Yves is a true pioneer, a true legend. So, you always gotta pay homage to him.
Just like Dean Thomas.
Yeah.
You got to pay homage to Dean Thomas. Yeah.
So hang on. Stan, did I talk about this? I know I talked about it on the podcast when we had Dean on last time, but when he fought my buddy Dustin Pegg, did I actually say it to you?
No.
Dean?
Oh no.
Oh, I was training. I just got into fighting a little bit, and you were fighting Dustin Pegg at a Pennsylvania fight, I believe it was.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so we were all like, "Oh man, he was in the UFC. Dude, this is a big fight, because he was on his way up." And he said he touched gloves with you, and he was like, "Bang in the middle." And you're like, "Yeah, bang in the middle." He was like, "All right." So he comes out the back. He said the first thing you did was shoot on him.
I did. I shot and pulled guard.
Yeah. No, you took him down.
No, I missed the first one. So yeah, he was like bang in the middle. I said, hell yeah, that's bang in the middle. As soon as he came out, I shot and he kind of like jumped back and I pulled guard.
And that was at 145, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I stood up and took him down.
Right. I know you won that fight. Did you finish him that fight?
Yeah, I stopped him with elbows in the second round.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that was because he was very young in the game. I mean, not very young in the game, but obviously you're a veteran, and
Yeah.
Yeah, he was scrappy and strong, but I was like, I knew he was gonna fall for the old. Yeah, let's stand in the middle trick.
Because he was more of a boxer.
Yeah, I was like, you can't be that stupid. The thing I'm really gonna tell you what I'm about to do.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, but he probably saw some old UFC shit, right? Mm-hmm. That's happened in the UFC. We're like bang in the middle, like bang in the middle, bro.
The funniest is Dean probably sold it too. Like, yep, I gave him the eye.
Oh
the whole
no,
fucking
he
nine.
said that. He said he looked me dead in the eye. I said, "Yep, bang in the middle." In the middle. Came out first thing he did was shoot. I was like, damn.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what happened.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, that's kind of. I mean, not kind of similar, but remember when McGregor fought Brandao.
Yeah.
Somebody
Yeah.
came out with, I think McGregor came out to touch hands.
And threw a spinning back kick.
Well, no, and then Brandao shook it off. He was like, all right, motherfucker. Wow, spinning back kick.
Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly what happened.
Maybe. I remember a fight where Connor, it might have been that, but I don't remember Brandao shaking his head no.
Or like maybe kind of went out to touch it.
I remember Connor walking out and going to touch someone's glove and throwing a spinning back kick off of it.
I think it was that fight, right?
Yeah.
I think it was that one too, yeah.
Then there's another one where I think it, fuck, who was it? Oh, man, I'm drawing a blank. Where a dude went out to touch gloves. Dude kind of went to touch gloves, and then he threw an overhand right, and it didn't knock him out, and then he ended up, the guy that, like, did the fake touch overhand right and hit him, ended up losing the fight, and everyone was like, yeah, fuck yeah, you fucking bitch. You tried to cheap shot him.
I've seen that happen before.
But it was
yeah.
like a second round. Dean, do you remember that fight? Fuck, who was it?
I can't recall who that was. I remember seeing it though, yeah.
It was like within the last like 3 years.
Yeah. I can't recall who did that.
Oh, Silva!
Which Silva?
The
Thiago?
The one with like the comb over with the side tattoo and the sleeve.
Thiago Silva?
No. He's like 170?
Eric Silva.
Yes.
Yeah, Eric Silva.
Who did he do that to? And then he ended up getting knocked out.
I don't remember.
Oh, man.
Was it the Canadian?
We'll have to find that piece of info for next week. I don't want to touch.
But I remember Eric Silva did that. Like came out to fucking touch hands. The guy would touch hands. They threw an overhand. Whack.
Yeah.
Didn't hurt the guy, or hurt the guy a little bit, whatever. And then he ended up getting finished. And I was like, yes, you get, you little fucking bitch.
Yeah, well, that's some cheap shit.
That's cheap shit.
Hey, but fellas, I gotta raise up, man. I got my people in here waiting on me.
Yeah,
So,
I was thinking we had enough of you anyways, so. I'm just,
That is you, a wild boy. Hey, listen. Call me anytime, though. For real, call me anytime.
We can't get enough of you, really.
I feel like I told you I love what he does on Instagram.
Yeah.
I want to make a weekly segment or a bi-weekly segment with Dean.
Yeah, man. So listen, call me anytime. But I gotta get out on these nuts, man, before my people roast me.
I like it. Do you, boo-boo.
You're the man.
All right,
Dean.
fellas.
Thank you for the
I'll
time.
catch up, yo. Peace.
Man.
Anthony, what's your timeline like?
Timeline?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Do you have to be anywhere anytime soon?
No, I'm chilling.
Stan, what do you want? Do you want Leonard and then Anthony? Or do you want Anthony and
I
Leonard?
don't even care. This episode's taking years off my life. I'm so pissed. I feel like we lost the whole Austin interview.
10.5% alcohol beers.
Wow.
I don't know what it's going to taste like. But
Who dropped just sent me some messages. He said he was going hard in the chat, but I didn't want to change it. Apparently,
Well,
I mean, what do you mean? You have the chat right here, you didn't he?
apparently, this was not working properly.
What do you mean?
Every time that we went to you, we lost audio.
because you got to have...
No, because this fucking thing always resets. Because I constantly have to... Now I think we're good, but...
As long as this is doing this...
It was doing that the whole time, but I had 2 bars, so I'm assuming it was the cameras or something picking it up. You know, I just need a little more time before we go live next time. Or whatever, I gotta learn more. Super frustrating. But
Mom! We're ready for you.
But now we're good. And what I would like to do, what we're going to do next week, is we're going to get Austin Vanderford on for another FaceTime or call, and then we're going to build that up to an in-studio.
Wow.
He's going to become your new best friend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm handing him over my friendship. I'm going to be like, I don't even want to be friends with Dennis anymore. This is your job now.
Move that over. I'm going to sit next to you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm going to put my hands on you.
Don't fucking touch me.
Uh-oh, what's this?
What do you got?
I got a new cameo.
Nobody wants to see
Yeah, they do. Dude, you can get a cameo from me.
Here, show the cameo. Show it again.
Oh. It's not showing up.
It's not?
Is it?
Yeah, I see it. Oh, there you go. Now you can see it. What are they saying to you?
So, like, listen, guys, if you want a message from me, or the man,
I don't want to send you shit.
you can cameo, send in a cameo. So behind me is my surrogate mother.
Your surrogate mother?
Nah, I'm just kidding. You say that. That's your own joke, Mom.
All right, we'll just take a little moment and we'll set some other things up, and then we'll have
What are you setting up?
a little something with Leonard Skinner. I want to get her in. I want to move the
She's
bench
gonna
so she can hop in.
Nah, she's strong.
Yeah, what do you want to know about the Menace?
Well, I know everything about me, so Stan's essentially gonna interview you.
Am I? No, you're gonna talk and bond with your mom.
Can you put me up a little higher?
Put you up a little higher. I put it low because I figured you're a little guy. You like things low to the ground.
I'll fucking kill you, dude. Good.
Daddy gets from his mother.
What does he get from his mother?
Real
Short?
Low.
So Leonard used to be a gymnast.
A gymnast?
Yep.
Yeah, once upon a time.
That's what's up.
Then she broke her arm real bad. Mom, go about that story.
How I broke
Look.
my arm?
A little more straight, right?
The little Frankenstein back then. I don't know if you can see it. I was
Oh, you don't want those?
ninth grade, getting ready for the first meet. I was looking for our number one and went into the gym to show off for yearbook pictures. And because I was showing off, I fell off the men's high bar and dislocated and
Do you not have any
chipped
sound?
my arm.
I don't know, do I?
No, I feel like all the headsets turned off. Did they?
It's not the best story. I can hear. Maybe not. I hear me. Here we go again.
Oh my goodness. This has just been one of those days.
Look, can you drop my mic down low?
I didn't drop your mic
Yeah, you
down
did.
low.
You have the strength of a small midget.
Low person.
And now we're getting this static. Where's this static coming from? You hear static, right?
Yeah. Sounds like a car engine now. It's just like going. We'll go
I mean, in
fast.
all honesty, we could just take
Stop.
headphones off.
I mean, yeah, absolutely we could.
So, is that something you want to do? Or?
That's up to you guys. I mean, I just figured it out, right? It stopped.
Stop.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, Stan.
Oh my goodness, what a frustrating episode this has been so far, though.
Yeah, Mom, it's not easy having a shitty co-host.
No, it's not easy fucking working with Dennis. Who,
Oh, it's not?
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's not.
Why isn't it hard?
not.
Why isn't it?
She knows why. Because you're kind of mean.
Oh.
Yeah, you're kind of mean sometimes. And then when I have that going on top of trying to figure out all this shit, it can be a little overwhelming.
Well,
it
I'm
could
just
be a
trying to be
lot,
funny.
but it's not funny.
Get it?
It's
Nobody
not.
cares.
You laugh. You you laugh
That's
at your.
what it is.
Ooh, wow! This is what this is gonna turn into, is an intervention.
I laugh at myself. It's not for anybody else but my own self. I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I just pick on you. No one else thinks it's funny except for me.
No, you claim the world thinks it's funny, and all these people think it's funny.
Wow.
And then that's the worst thing.
Hearsay.
Is you know how I am. I'll give it right
No.
back to you, but I don't want to on air just fucking sit and make the show me and you bickering back and forth.
Well, I think people like that.
Why don't you move over a little bit
Nah, I like being close to you.
so I can move over and get a little bit more centered
You're
in the
so
camera?
warm.
Sit closer to your mom. Come on. She gave you life. The least you can do
Well,
is sit
you
next
keep
to
And
her.
he gave me a scar for that.
Gave you a scar for that?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
think
give
he
you
has a big
shit.
head now. He had a big head then.
Oh, yeah. Huge head.
You had to cut him out.
Who's got a bigger head, me or Stan?
Oh, me. Tremendous head.
So what happened to your mother?
I told you, I was a
you.
10-pound baby. I was a big
Oh,
baby.
You were 8. He was
Mom,
my biggest at 8.
What do you think his mom's scar looks like? Does she have a scar? Or is his mom Superwoman? Stan,
There's a scar somewhere. It could be this way or it could
What do
be
you
a
want?
little tiny.
just fucking, I want to make this mic stronger.
Why? It keeps dropping on you?
Yeah. It's because I keep dropping like awesome shit on it, and it's like it's getting heavy.
No, the mic's running away from you from saying stupid shit. See?
Nah.
I just watched it do it again.
I'll just hold it. I don't give a shit.
So, Mama Menace, tell us what it's like to have a son like Dennis.
Okay, I guess.
What was your first thought process when you found out your son was fighting professionally?
I was living with her.
Oh, yeah, he was. Before he started this whole thing, he was living with me, and I remember one day he was sitting in the living room watching The Ultimate Fighter on TV, and this was before he had even ever fought. And I was kind of walking through the room, and he just said, "I could do that." So I said, "So do it." That wasn't why he got into it, but it's just
No chance.
yeah, it was chance. And I always thought that Ben Henderson I would watch it. Back then it was what's the one that starts with the W?
WEC.
Yes. And I always said, you should fight him. You should fight Ben Henderson.
Yeah.
He was actually a weight class higher than you. But when he got his first fight, I didn't know how to deal with it. I wanted to go, but I didn't know if he wanted me to go or not want me there, or it was just odd for me.
Didn't you have a funny Benson Henderson training story? Like, didn't you train?
Me?
Yeah, didn't you train with him like
Yeah.
hungover or something? And he was
Well, no,
sober.
we were overseas, and we were in Spain, and he was getting ready for a fight. I had been out fucking boozing mad hard with Gray Maynard and Carlos Esparza, and we had to do a seminar the next day. So I did a seminar, and he's like, "Hey man, you want to do like some 2 and 2s?" I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, I do 2 takedowns, you do 2 takedowns. It's kind of just drilling. I was like, "All right, cool." So we're doing these 2 and 2s, and first it's nice and easy and light, whatever. And then I started noticing as I'm getting up, this motherfucker's making it hard for me to get up. I'm like, yo. So
What, like holding you down?
A little bit.
Okay.
So now he's starting to wear on me. I'm like, yo, this bitch, I've got good cardio, but I'm fucking hungover. And he's making this fucking hell for me right now. And he's big, and he's like, so I take him down, and he'd use a lot of energy to get up real quick, so I couldn't even do the same thing to him. So then, after 40 minutes, I'm like, hey, Ben, you good? Because I am. I'm about to throw up here soon,
And he wasn't good.
Nah.
He was good?
What's he going to do? No, you're staying.
Make you feel like a pussy and be like, come on, man, I could use a couple more rounds. You're a professional athlete.
He's not like you, Stan.
I'm not a professional athlete. I wouldn't say that to someone.
Yeah, that's why he's not like you.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, hang on. 40 minutes. We went at a high intensity, but
you were a shitty training partner that day, or a good?
No,
training
I
partner?
was a good training partner, but I felt awful.
Yeah.
I was hungover. It's not a good time, and he was going. He's in training mode.
Yeah.
Trying to get what he could out of it. Overseas. I'm like, damn. I wish I knew this was what we were doing off the jump.
So do you think Benson Henderson, off of that day, left thinking I can kick Menace's ass?
I mean, I would hope so. He's a weight class above me.
No, not when you were tired.
Yeah, I did want more.
No, I feel like stylistically you could have matched up with him, no?
So that's
That's a tough one. So he doesn't drink either.
So what, you're saying that would have been the difference maker for him?
No.
Yeah.
I would take his ass down.
Yeah.
But I want to get him on the show. I can't be saying, yo, Ben, I would crush your ass.
No, I'm not saying that. But man, where does this static keep coming from?
Don't know.
I don't know. Probably a shitty fucking intro guy.
Shitty intro guy.
Shitty tech guy.
I don't know where the fuck that's coming from. It's annoying the shit out of me though.
Maybe you should kill yourself.
Why would I kill myself? I would never kill myself.
Yeah.
See, and then it just stops. This is so stupid, this shit today.
Huh.
All right, but anyway, your son started fighting professionally.
Yep, and I had this thing after. Well, the first fight, he went in there and he won in the first round, and then in the second fight,
Amateur.
he won in the first round, and then in the third. Oh, I didn't see the second one, but you did.
No, the second one
that
went to
was the
decision.
one- yeah, that was the one that you did. At that
No,
point.
the second
Yeah.
one, I ended the guy in the first round as well.
But he
Third fight went to decision.
But he always won quickly, and he always won without injury. Our thing was
All right.
still Purdy.
Moneymaker.
Yep, still Purdy. And then as he got, a little higher, got into UFC, he wasn't always still Purdy.
No, he's still good. What do you got?
Oh, yeah, but right
You don't
after
got
the
too
fight,
much.
no.
Yeah. Wow.
You didn't get really cut up ever, really. Who cut you up?
After the Grice fight, I was pretty lumped up. After the Holloway fight, I was pretty lumped up.
But anything permanent? Or
No.
Yeah.
I mean, look at my face.
Nobody ever cut your eyebrows or anything. Yeah.
Well, I got stitches with Grice.
But
And
not
then
too
I got
bad.
stitches.
Yes,
I
it
got
did,
stitches
right.
after the my first fight, the Scarecrow
Garza.
stitches in my lip.
Yeah.
Burn.
Yeah,
Oh
but
man,
you can't see
I
that
remember
one.
when you were doing that wrestling tournament up in State College.
Yeah, Penn
And
State.
your first
Second.
was it your second match?
Second
And the
match.
tooth went right through your lip.
That happened to me once.
And then
Big Pete did it to me.
then you had to fight Seth, that guy
Seth
that you ended up
yep.
beating him at the home.
Yeah.
Him, right?
No, that's the picture that you're looking at is the finals of the Navy Classic.
Oh, okay. I'll have to for that one too.
Yeah.
Yes. Our boy Big Pete, that big goon, he like cross-faced me one time, and I was like, "Oh, stop!" He pushed my tooth through my lip, and I got up and
But he fought the next one.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little injury.
I got stitches and
There was a lot of blood and it freaked Mom out. So.
You were there for that?
Yes.
I'd imagine that's one of those things that probably even just freaks a parent from the jump. Your son's fighting, cage fighting, and then when you go to a live cage fight, like it's so different than watching it on TV.
Well, I already told you this, but I had this little gig that I started doing. I was writing for a couple of different online MMA websites as the MMA mom.
Yes.
And it kind of got me in free, and I actually sat cage.
I remember you mentioned the one time that you met Yves Edwards when he was staying. We just had Yves on the show like 20 minutes ago.
That was pretty funny. Yeah, I was going to stay with Dennis and Dan down at their house on the beach, and I went there, knocked on the door, and Yves answered the door. Now, I, being a new MMA mom, fairly, I didn't right off the bat know who Yves was, and I knocked on a door. He let me in. Two of us were watching the reruns. Well, he was catching up on his Game of Thrones.
Who was catching up on Game of Thrones? Yves?
Yves was, and I was a big fan.
He's a big
yeah, so the two
goat
of us,
guy.
A big GOT fan?
two of us were watching that, and I just kind of struck up conversation and said, "So, are you a fighter too?" And he said, "Oh yeah." And then later on, I find out that he's been fighting for years.
15 years.
Yep. He did give me an interview though, which Dennis warned him. Your mom, don't talk to my mother. She's gonna want to interview.
So yeah, she started this MMA mom. I'm living with her, and she's like, interviewing me before she interviews people. I'm like, yo, listen, if this is gonna be your thing, like, let it be your thing. I don't want to interview people. I don't want to like look up people. I don't give a shit. Don't ask me about other fighters. I don't care. Don't ask me for an interview. I'm not doing it. And she didn't.
No.
Cause it's tough. It's my mom. I don't want to do an interview with my mom.
I did.
I also I don't know.
I did do a thing on the Ultimate Fighter for your season, where after each show I did and those guys, they didn't want me to really do it as an MMA professional, but more from a mother's point of view.
And also, I was getting a little jammed up. People were taking her kindness for the weakness.
Meaning what?
They want her to fucking write up goddamn websites for her for free.
Yeah.
Like, yo, hey, can you write up this article? And she'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. And like, I'm like, yo, mom, what are they paying you? Oh, I'm just doing it. I'm like, yo, fuck them. Do that shit.
Well, that's a part of journalism, if you will, in the beginning.
What's
You have
that?
to
Doing shit for free?
Yeah, you have to get your work out there, and then
It's
someone
kinda
will
like
pick you up and pay you
with
for
the
it.
art that I do now, I send postcards, paintings out to random
Or
people.
pay me like a bare minimum. Okay, $1. Cool.
And this one guy actually said that I got the most hits
Yeah, for free.
from this stuff. I had to do one article on what it was like to be an MMA mom. That one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that could be more. That one's
And
easy.
I was always gonna
but like,
write a
hang on,
book.
no, she was. Look, dude, I would come home. She's on SureDog looking up,
Stats.
on guys that aren't even in the UFC, like some like.
Amateur
I
or pro.
wasn't writing about it. I
Mo,
was writing like new guys. I wasn't doing
Joe
UFC.
Schmoes that are 2
You
and
weren't in the
2,
UFC yet.
and I'm like, and then she's trying to ask me what I think. I'm like, the fuck out of here! Like, this guy's probably gonna be done fighting in like a month.
Yeah, we interview names here at Menace and the Man, and he
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck here either. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, you weren't in the UFC.
I mean,
yet
not in
either.
an insulting way, but yeah, he has
Yes,
no
you
idea sometimes. We interview people, and he's like, I have no idea who this person is. Yeah, it happens. I get it, though.
Yeah.
Like, we had on, Kevin Ross. He's a big Muay Thai guy. He's like one of the white guys.
You say Muay Thai very weird.
How do you
Muay
say it?
Thai?
Muay Thai. You say it.
It's Muay Thai.
Muay.
It's
Muay.
not Muay Thai.
Muay.
You're the one saying it
Muay.
weird.
Really?
Yeah, it's Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, huh?
We've
Where's my phone?
interviewed
Okay, Google.
Muay
How do you
Thai
say Muay
guys, and they don't say it like that.
Maybe they're not correcting you. What do they say?
Hey Siri.
Okay.
Muay Thai?
We were talking about this before. Is it Jaguar or Jaguar?
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Anyways,
know.
tomato. Who
Yeah,
gives a shit?
it's like tomato. It's kind of like when we have Din on and we keep calling him Din or Dean.
Yeah, I keep throwing random shit at him. Like, yo, Dean. One time I'll say Dean. One time I'll say Din.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going back
I'll
and
say
forth.
Din, and then I'll go in my head. I'm like, fuck. He just catches. He just keeps going. So he must get that every day.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's not like Devin Clark when I called him Derek.
I need you to do a better job of interviewing my mom because I can't.
All right. Well, what do you mean you can't? Yeah, you can. Ask her some questions. Be like, what was it like to watch me fight? Go. I gave you one.
I already told you it was. I always get like as it gets closer to fight day, the butterflies get bad.
So now, did you have like any weird maternal? I don't know what the word would be, but like when he would get hit, did you almost
did I
like?
want to jump in there and kick the other guy's ass?
Did you almost like feel it, or did you like turn away, or were you able to watch
No,
him get hit?
One of those.
You know what I mean? Like
I've been around like wrestling moms that came and watch their sons wrestle.
my mom couldn't watch me do anything. She didn't want me
she's
to
like,
fight.
well, he sucks.
No, I was good,
So you
Dennis.
get that.
You don't gotta always undersell me.
Nah, my thing for my kids has always been that song Simple Man. In fact, his first pay-per-view that he did, he walked out to the song Simple Man.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Matt Mitrione walked out to that the other day.
Your first pay-per-view,
Leonard
not
Skinner?
UFC.
Leonard
Not
Skinner, right?
UFC, yeah. But you did the version that wasn't by Leonard Skinner. That the one where it was the tournament.
Oh, like he did like a rock emo cover version?
Yeah.
That's what
It
he's
was
into.
the
yeah.
tournament that you were on, and the first guy.
Yeah, Shine Fights.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yes, you did, because I remember going, "Oh my God, he's playing my song. He's playing my song."
But now you were supportive of him fighting.
Yeah, I'm supportive of anything he
I'm
wants
I'm
to
her
do
favorite
within
son.
a reason.
Like my mom
know?
had a weird take on fighting, and it was that her brother
He's been
did it.
fighting his whole life. He has two brothers.
Yeah. Like my mom
They
came
were
from.
always kicking
My mom
the
was
crap
one of
out
10
each
kids.
other.
Her brother was a professional fighter, but then he took that to become a drug addict and beat people up in the streets and be like violent. So that was my mom's image of a fighter. And then her other was a cousin who his father was a mobster and like, you know. So her take on fighting was always that it wasn't good. So she used to tell me, I don't want you to be a fighter. I think you're a better person than that. And I'd be like, I don't think you understand, you know.
That I'm not a good person.
I went and
No,
like,
just
actually,
Most of the people are college educated and they're wrestlers that came over or they're jiu-jitsu guys that are really disciplined, you know, things like that.
I like checking my facts. You know, so before I went,
Hey,
oh
keep
my
interviewing
God,
her.
you're gonna poke your eye out with that thing, or you know, I went online and not just one place, but checked out the, you know, to find out just how dangerous the MMA was. I found that there's rules. I mean, in boxing, you get knocked down, you get 10 count to get back up, and in MMA, you get knocked down and you're not up within a couple. It's done. I mean, I think MMA is safer than boxing. I
Yeah.
believe, and it's been said that it's safer than football. Meanwhile, there's
It's safer than both of them, yeah.
yeah, and there's millions of people that soccer. People get hurt all the time.
What's
You know,
crazy, though, is the training. There's like a weird gray understanding of it. The training might not be safer, you know, like the repeated heads, because you're training boxing in the gym. You know what I mean? You're wearing 16-ounce gloves. You're taking the repeated hits to the head.
Yep.
The actual competition aspect is night and day safer than football, than all those other sports. Boxing,
Yep.
rugby, all those ones.
Everybody always, especially back when it first kind of started, it was like the Thunderdome people thought of. You know, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Yes. I think that even like I was saying, my mom, that was my mom's take on it. My mom thought like cockfighting, you know, or like street fighting. She thought like that it was way more vicious than it actually was.
Yep.
And then even, that's why I was asking if you supported him. Like I fought one time in 2015 and I was just flat. Like I had no one there to like hype me up, get me in game mode. And then I was just really like kind of like walking around the fight, like just looking for someone to get me to hype up. And then all of a sudden my mom walked in. And my mom never supported my fighting, didn't want me to do it.
But she supports you.
But her walking in like fucked me up, if you
Oh,
will.
really?
Yeah, because it took me to a whole nother place.
Speaking of that, when Dennis had to eventually like tell me, Mom, when I'm fighting, stop yelling things for me to do, especially when I was sitting ringside. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'd be like, instead of like just, I'd be like going, do this or do that, or yeah. And he's like, Mom, I can hear you, and it throws me off.
Yeah. Like that's why I was asking. Like if you felt like you took the shots, because it's definitely like a very intimate thing almost, you know, like you gave birth to him. Now you're watching him go in and get beat up by someone or take punches from someone.
Back to the first fight ever when I was like kind of undecided whether I should go, whether he wanted me to go. My son Dean, now this is in Virginia where he's having this. It's his first fight. It's amateur. He really hadn't trained yet at all. I mean, he'd maybe like did a little bit for like 2 weeks with some of his friends that were into the MMA up in Saugerties. And he gets signed up, is going to go do this. And his brother, Dean, who lived upstate, was going. So he says, Mom, I'll pick you up on the way. So he swung by the PA, picked me up, and we all went to Virginia to watch. So, yeah, that answered my question as to whether I was going or not.
Yeah, I was there.
You are?
Yep.
And then I would drive down all those other ones that were down there. I always drove down there, too.
You would drive to Virginia.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And then you lived in PA, right?
Yep.
I did all my amateur fights in Virginia because they fought under pro rules.
Right.
If I was going to do it, I was going to do it right.
Yeah.
I was going to pay all the money. I was paying to fight.
I drove from
It's insane now. You can't get me out of my house for less than...
$1,000.
What? No. I'll go to a gym and teach a private lesson for like $60.
Well, just something, like you were saying with her writing the things, just something.
Yeah.
You just need something, and that'll get you.
Yeah.
It got me.
It
in
could
the
even
door
be a
for
meal.
free, and I got to
Yeah.
sit ringside.
It could even... Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yep.
So now, obviously, let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. What was it like when you saw him on The Ultimate Fighter and you realized your son made it to the upper echelon of combat sports?
Well, he's still always going to be my dentist, but yeah, I've always.
I'm her
always
favorite
been
son.
I
proud
was
of
just
him.
going to say that, too. Yeah, I noticed
Always
that he
proud of
posted
him.
that recently.
What? I'm her favorite
He
son?
says that all
And
the
you
time.
you doubled down on it, or was that him?
Well,
Or was that you saying that you're the coolest of your siblings?
yeah.
Oh. Because I took it as you saying that I was the coolest of my
I said,
siblings.
I know how you feel. I
Jay
know.
was like, I think she thinks she's the coolest of her siblings. I'm like,
You went right on Instagram and were like, tagged both of your
Boom.
brothers and were like, told you. I'm
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah. Wow.
But now I forgot where I was going.
You were talking about.
When he first got into The Ultimate Fighter.
Right.
That was the question I asked.
I
And
know. Okay. Yeah, I was always like super proud of him, but yeah, I was going somewhere with this. I could see what happens when you get old.
Well, no, we jump around a lot here. We cut people
yeah,
off.
I do too, but still, I mean, this was a good.
We stopped to talk about how he was thought he was your favorite son, or
Yeah.
thought he was the best son.
Yep, and it was something about that.
when I got in the Ultimate Fighter, when you saw that I was on the premiere, how'd that make you feel?
Oh, well, my mother went out and bought plane tickets and paid for everybody to go to Las Vegas.
Yeah, and I let you guys
We
all down.
all went to. Oh no, you didn't let us down. I knew that your
You knew I was
your
gonna
arm
lose.
was no. I bet on you. I lost money, but I knew that your arm was hurt.
Jacked up going into the
and
fight.
yeah. So, and we were going, yeah. And then it happened so quickly. I
Who
mean,
jacked up your arm? Davidius, right?
Yeah, Davidius Titoris.
Taurus Savicius, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah.
in practice?
He was that guy though, Davidius. He would go very hard.
It's like Russian.
Yeah, he had one speed, and it was
I'll crush you.
yeah. We fight to death.
Yeah.
He was like one of those type of guys.
I also went down for when they were doing the taping. All the brothers were here. It wasn't because they were doing the taping. It was because I never get to see all three of my sons at the same time in the same place.
When they were doing what? When you were taping in Vegas?
When
They
no.
taped like before the finale,
Yeah.
like your training and stuff like that. There's a thing of me, my brother's running on the
He
boardwalk.
wasn't allowed to say that he made it to the finale, but as far as like getting the plane tickets, I was like, so I would be cool if I bought plane tickets for Vegas.
Did you
He
tell
goes-
anyone?
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
didn't
some
tell
people.
him
know.
me.
Hopefully I don't get sued now.
Nah.
It's already out.
Hypothetically, did you tell anyone?
Well, the thing is, like, after we left the Ultimate Fighter, like, you cannot tell anyone the results.
Yeah.
If you do, you could be like
Disqualified.
kicked out of the UFC, disqualified, and sued really badly.
So what do they expect you to do though? Go home and be like, listen, guys, just train me like I might be fighting. You know?
Well, I remember driving back. I think either Ryan or Greg picked me up from the airport. Or no, I was riding with Ryan or Greg, and they're like, "So you're in the finals, aren't you?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, come on, you're in the finals, aren't you? Like, I don't, maybe, good chance. I think they also know me well enough. If like, yo, you're in the finals, I'm like, no, fuck it. I would be like super pissed.
Yeah.
If I was like,
Oh yeah, he's not a good loser.
No, we've
Yeah.
we've
I'm actually.
I've seen him come so close, and he's always like the runner-up.
we've gone over that, his competitive streak.
We just talked to Austin earlier about how like I was never the best.
Who's Austin?
The guy you were just talking to before. Fighter.
Austin
Austin Vanderford. Yeah.
Vanderford.
I told you I went elsewhere during that interview.
Yeah.
I was fucking frustrated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, because
didn't
he
even
was a
want
state
his medal.
champion. I was never like. I mean, I won a bunch of tournaments, but I was never like a state champion or like.
Almost. You almost got to go to states.
Well, I remember we even
Almost doesn't count, Mom.
I know.
we talked about that with Coach Stutz too. And I remember that was like something you said to Coach Stutz, and he was like, "Yeah, okay," because you were like, I feel like you're like me, like you're always just so close, but then you fucking fail and
We're
lose.
like really good.
Yeah.
But not.
You're like a badass, but you're not like that. And Coach Stutz was like, "Yeah, thank you for pointing out my downfall, Dennis."
I liked Stutz. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he was a good interview as well. He had some good stories about
yeah,
Dennis.
I listened to it. And
Let's-
I was around for all those stories that he had, too.
So now is that
Like,
her?
I had to go to the school with the BB gun incident.
Yes, was that your father or your grandfather who was
My
on?
mother's husband.
Her stepfather.
Yeah.
Was what at Bloomsburg?
The president
The president.
of the
So-
school for
yeah.
like 30-something years.
Yeah,
His
so-
father was.
That saved Dennis at that BB gun incident.
So Leonard, what are you doing now?
Painting.
She's an artist.
Painting. and
She's always
painting
been an
and
artist.
painting.
So I posted something the other day. I don't know, and I had like a couple people like, "Whoa, her art's like pretty good." And I'm like, "Yeah, if that's what you're into."
Yeah, he says, "Mom, you need to draw stuff that's more realistic." I was like, "That's not my."
Now the thing is, since I've been born, I've been seeing like these fucking rainbow fucking like colors in my goddamn face. So what am I gonna
do it
do?
before he
This
called
one's
me
pretty
in.
good. So Mom, there's your camera right there. So this is so put it up a little closer, down. All right, higher, this way, other way. All right. Describe this. What do you got going on here? What's this called?
This is like abstract expressionism, and it's done in what's called intuitive art, where you don't actually think ahead of time. You just sort of start drawing, and as you're drawing or painting, things might develop. Like this started out as nothing. I'm seeing a butterfly now.
I see that butterfly as well.
Yeah. Yep. So it's,
Do you have a name of this work? Do you name your work before you start the work?
No. The name comes after it's done.
So, I think maybe why, like, I think she has some good pieces, but for me, her best pieces are something I can identify.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there I see a butterfly. One of her face works, and she gave it to me as like a ram.
I actually brought it home so I could fix it.
You stole it?
I didn't steal it. I brought it home so I could make it more realistic.
When did you take it?
Christmas.
It was in the closet over here.
Christina's like, make sure you bring it back because it's his favorite.
But I'm more of a realist kind of guy. My art, so I am actually pretty artistic. And Stan, you said the same about yourself. You'll have to show Leonard some of your things. And I definitely get that from my mom. My dad is probably more anal.
Okay.
No, not in art, just like the way he lives.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think the mix between the two is probably why, like, I want my art to make sense.
Yeah.
You know, I like realism because I think it's pretty hard to do. But my mom has helped me throughout, college, stuff like that with weight. There's a lot of different things that go into art that people don't.
There's some
They
rules
may
to it.
recognize subliminally, in terms of
Things
like.
that
weight and balance
Yep.
and gravity. There's
Visual
all.
balance. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. My den. This is
Don't show it to us.
him. Well, where's the camera? Okay, I did this. Oh, gotta get it out of glare.
So that's me
We were like
in
in 10th grade, 11th
maybe
grade.
10th grade. No, 10th grade.
Yep.
It's off a photograph that she had taken. It looks a little, and now
I think it looks like Bryson.
it looks a little more like my. It's like a combination of me and my younger brother. I feel,
And actually, he was in the picture.
but
too.
I can see how you can see Bryson in that. I mean, she's hitting the Bermuda's qualities.
Yeah.
That was a charcoal. See, I tried to do realistic. It just
Yeah, that's what Bryson's gonna look like.
And my favorite pieces of hers are things that I can identify.
Mhm.
okay, don't
Like that
Put it on
one.
the ground.
put it down.
Is that one of your favorite pieces?
Yeah, that's why it's like framed and shit. That's at my house.
And your tigers. I like your tigers.
Can we get some more pieces?
The tigers in there, I think.
Where can people find your work?
Well, most of my stuff, all of my stuff, is on Instagram under Bird on a Whim 25.
Now I go on your Instagram. How do I buy one of your pieces?
You just DM me, or even, you DM, send a message and ask for more information. And if depending on the piece, I very often will do free shipping if it's something on paper. If it's a large canvas, that ain't happening. But yeah,
Outside criticism, I feel like you should make it. Sometimes people don't want to talk to other people. They just want
Yeah,
to click a
but
fucking button and get what they
well,
want.
I'm working on the website. Okay.
All right. I'm just
Or
outside.
they'll eventually be able to do that. But I've found, especially on Instagram, that that's something else. That's not the one I was looking for. But you
Well,
can tell what it is.
We're gonna bring them all. I don't.
It's a king.
Oh. Okay. We'll put it up to the.
Okay, this one is called "It's Good to Be the King."
Put it a little closer
That I
to
did
the left.
actually to go with one that I had done before. That's called Queen something. That developed. So this one I did on purpose to make it look like a king to go with the other one, and the other one just developed as I was drawing it. I need the other one. They're right there.
So, any relief once he retired?
Oh, here's the tiger. This is one of them.
Oh, she's deep in the art.
Okay.
Oh,
This
yeah, I gotta
is
put
the
that.
second tiger that I did for him.
Yeah,
The
I like
first
that. That's one of my favorites.
The first one was called Eye of the Tiger,
Put it a little closer.
and this one is Tiger Teeth. So he's always had a thing for tigers.
Just put it close.
I'm trying, but that's in
Down.
the way.
You always had to think for Tiger's Menace?
Yeah,
on his
I got a tiger tattoo.
Do you?
Yeah, it's on my
Where's
thigh.
that at?
On his
Oh,
thigh.
all right.
Well,
Yeah.
any fight you can see it.
Yep, so there it is, Tiger Teeth.
I remember when I was a little kid, they like duped me. They told me like I forget who it was. They were like, you can adopt a tiger, so you like pay money monthly, and they send you a picture, and you're like, oh, that's my tiger. I adopted it. It's in Africa, but it was really just some fucking Ponzi scheme to get a bunch of stupid little impressionable kids to
do that.
donate money to
Well,
tigers.
Behind this screen here, there's actually a vase that I did that looks like a tiger. It's right behind there.
Well, that'd be a tough one to get to right
yeah,
now.
nope, but it's there. I saw it when I was walking by outside. I was like, oh. That I did with tissue paper.
So one thing I asked before while we were deep in the art was when he retired, was there like a sense of relief, sadness? How'd you feel once your son retired from fighting?
It was bittersweet.
Bittersweet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you watch his last fight? Did you
Oh,
ever
yeah.
have you ever missed the fight?
No.
Never missed one. Would you watch them all from home, or did you always try to come live? Were you at the last
If it
one?
was close, no. I couldn't afford to go see him, actually. But if it was close enough for me to drive to it, I was there.
And how crazy is that, too? Like, not to take a shot at the UFC, but that they don't give you tickets.
He only gets 4 tickets.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more family that would go to the ones especially that you can drive to. I
Yeah.
did get a ticket from him to see Garza.
Yep.
Yep, in New Jersey.
Oh, that one was in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So-
yeah, once he got into the UFC, you could no longer go. But all the other ones, there was one fight I didn't go to, and that was his second amateur fight. other than that. And I would go to all his home, again with the wrestling, all his home because he went to school at Bloomsburg, and I lived about an hour.
Yeah, she would make it to
Hour and
one
15
football. She would travel from Pennsylvania to New York for at least one football game a season, and
I
then
went to the first tournament. I drove in the snow, in the winter, in a crappy car from Rhode Island to Saugerties to see him at, well, how old are you? 10?
yeah.
Why, you lived in Rhode Island?
One match.
No, I just happened to be there when this was going on.
She parties.
No,
Yeah.
no, not anymore.
We like to party here at
Let's
Menace to the
go
Man.
there.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay, I have a saying. You're not pulling. I always told these guys, I'm not pulling anything over on me because I been there, done that, bought the T-shirt and wore the motherfucker out.
Yeah. My mom is a modern day hippie. Obviously,
Yeah, I'm wearing a tie-dye skirt.
you can look at her work and you could tell this is
The work of a hippie.
this is
Peace,
what
love,
I
love.
that's what I grew up with.
Well,
What
the
was
time.
what was hang on because that's like the
Do you want to
hippie
hear about my
70s.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
If you were old enough in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even like the early 80s, that was like a hippie culture.
70s
Rock music.
What decade would you say you used the most drugs?
The
70s, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And was Donna with you?
He's over there going like this. No, actually, Donna and I didn't. Was it the 70s we met? It was when I was like 22. I had just gotten back from Florida. That's from doing too many drugs. You can't remember.
Wow. What? So the thing is, one of my things, and like you know this being my mom, is like I didn't dabble in any drugs because I was so
No.
focused on my sports. I knew that was going to be a downfall.
No, one
but I'm
time-
so like I want to know why people do them, how they feel, how much they cost, where'd you get them
They
from?
weren't expensive. You could get them anywhere.
But all right, you're saying them. Let's get more specific.
Oh, do I have to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you did cocaine, you smoked weed. That's the only thing. That's the
There's
only
a
one.
little like tripping involved.
So it's like some mushrooms.
Mushrooms,
LSD.
mescaline.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but
LSD was like the big thing in the
yeah, that
60s,
was
70s,
Purple
right?
Haze and
Yeah.
Strawberry Fields. Those were all.
Purple haze is a weed.
Oh yeah, lewd
Is a
stuff.
weed, but it's also LSD, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
back
what's it?
then,
Do you
was
see like weird things?
Yes.
Yes. I never did it,
trails.
but I've heard
Like,
stories.
you do this, you see the little trails running out.
And what? So like
the air could be paisley.
yeah. So my older brother, your oldest son, smokes a ton of weed, and like he dabbles in some other things,
Not much.
and I have friends
I
that
know
do.
all the things that he did.
Yeah.
and he doesn't do much.
And I have friends that do drugs, and there's certain settings for certain drugs. So like weed is like you could do that anywhere, anytime,
no,
right? No.
It depends if you're.
For
like
you,
that,
where would you like to smoke weed the most? Like by the water, or watching a movie,
chilling
or
and not around a lot of people.
okay.
Nope. Cocaine was the drug of choice for
If you-
clubbing.
Okay. Now, at the club, during the club, before the club, or all of the above?
All of the
Or
above.
keeping it after, right?
All of the above.
And what now, like again, I don't know a ton about these things. Like, so what is the time? So how long does cocaine last?
In your system or
No,
the
like
high?
the high.
Depends on how much you did. I always did like half as much as everybody else. Because they'd always go, I know you're hoarding some. And they all ran out. I know you have some. Because I always was going to like use it. It gives you a little energy and you think you have the best ideas in the world.
Huh.
Really
Yeah,
do.
you know everything and...
I've talked so many business ideas with friends on coke.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you'd be like, oh man, we're gonna make so much money. And the next day you go, really?
Now, does cocaine have like this crashing effect?
No. Sometimes you have a hard time even going to sleep.
Well, no. What I'm saying, like a crashing effect in terms of the next day, you like can't even like.
Okay, well,
like
let
a
me-
hangover. Sorry, hangover effect.
It was more from the drinking that went along with the coke. 'Cause
Right.
You could drink more.
Yeah,
you
like a
felt
lot of times people
Way
do
more.
People don't just do cocaine. That's
Yeah.
it. They're doing
And
cocaine,
I
drinking.
want to put it out there too that I was lucky enough to not get addicted to this because it is addictive.
Right.
So, you know, like, it's not like, oh, yeah, well, Menace's mom did it and she's okay. No. I was one of the lucky ones. I mean, I had friends that did get addicted to it and were, like, embezzling from their parents. Or, you know, they'd end up in jail because they would do whatever to try and get money for it. You know?
Now, nowadays, cocaine can be, like, a little, like, hairy because they put other shit in it, right?
What they
Fentanyl?
cut it with or, you don't.
Back then, they didn't.
Back
put
then,
other shit in it.
baby powder.
They would cut it with like baby laxatives and shit like that back in the day.
Not necessarily laxatives, baby, but yeah.
No, what do they cut? That's what they cut it with. No, I thought that's what they cut cocaine
I
with.
didn't cut it, but yeah.
Nowadays, people
Well,
will
nowadays
get weed cocaine.
they're smoking it, which, you know, back then
You could smoke
couldn't
coke?
just yeah,
Crack.
It's crack.
Oh. Hang on, that's how much I know.
That's crack.
You're on a good route, so.
I don't.
You've listened to rap songs and rapped about. You have rapped about, sung back the lyrics about how to make crack cocaine.
Yeah, you're probably right.
100%.
Yeah, but I just thought it had a good beat and it sounded catchy.
It was a good lyric.
I wasn't
yeah.
like, huh.
That's
Add
how-
that, okay,
yeah,
to that.
you know. So back then, like, if you wanted to smoke it, at least people I knew,
Oh.
and I wasn't one of them.
So cocaine was
Baking
for
soda
the club
was
scene.
what they mixed it with. Baking
I didn't
soda. I'm an
like-
idiot.
Smoking a
Smoking
little
was
weed
fun.
was just chilling in the backyard with a couple close friends.
Yep.
LSD, that's another. That's
That
a-
was concerts.
concerts
Yeah.
where like
Grateful Dead,
you want to
the
feel like
Allman Brothers.
that's like that becomes like a 4-dimensional concert.
Yeah, you want to see the
All
lyrics.
I mean, the Grateful Dead.
see
You
the
wanna
see the
see-
instruments. See the
You
notes.
want to see
Yeah.
the lyrics.
Grateful Dead. It was almost like you almost had to go see them.
So what was your music choice? Like what was your band?
Now I call my mom Leonard Skinner.
I love Leonard.
I love Leonard Skinner too. I can't.
Hang on, because
I
her name is Lynn.
So you call it, yeah, Leonard.
Lynn. She's a hippie. She liked to party back in the day. Leonard Skinner is perfect.
Yeah, and the Southern rock, you know, because I did a lot of motorcycling too.
Oh, you were a biker
I was
chick.
an old hippie / biker chick. Yeah. I still have the leathers at home.
Really?
Really.
Now, can you ride a motorcycle?
I had my license, but whether that means anything is yet to be just.
So, were you riding a motorcycle, or were you on the back, or were you like sidecarring back then?
Back
No, she was
then,
on
I
the
was back. I was on the back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She bought her ex a shirt that said, "If you can read this, the bitch fell off."
That's a good shirt.
That's a crazy.
I
that's
feel like
insane.
you asked a guest about that shirt.
I
Once.
did.
Yeah, I forget who.
It was Miss I.
Oh, just.
And there was a reason I
yeah.
bought that. It was because the ex's new wife did fall off.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh, I must get that shirt.
That's a little weird, but
You were with me
Yeah.
when I got that. Donna went to a lot of biker parties with me. That's my friend Donna over there. Hi, Donna.
Donna hanging out in the background,
She has a Sportster.
along with Menace's coworker Anthony.
Oh yeah.
We got fans. We have in-studio fans now here at Menace and the Man.
yeah, I guess we're doing it.
We're trying.
People want to hang out while we have
I
the show.
can't believe the things you're getting me to tell.
This is what we do here at Menace and the Man.
Yeah.
We try to open up people's
Yeah,
minds
ways
to
to
a
make you
conversation
talk.
that they wouldn't normally have.
Yeah. I've known him forever. I've never had the cocaine conversation with him.
The microphone and the headset
No, I don't.
makes it all possible.
Well, I can't, you know.
Well, good thing to know. Your son has never done those drugs
I
or
knew
never
that.
experimented with
I
them.
knew that.
Yep.
I remember Jay, who also didn't, and
Can't speak for Dean though.
like I know what Dean did too. But on the night before he was leaving for boot camp, they were all out partying,
Right.
and he was drinking a lot and stuff. And later on, like after he got back, he was talking to me one day, and he says, "Mom, I think I got stoned. I think I smoked pot." I was like, "When?" He goes, "The night before I went away, we were all just sitting there drinking, and somebody was smoking. They were passing it around, and I think I had some."
I've never partied with Dean other than drinking, but I've hung out with Dean. I obviously hang out with Dennis, and I've played video games with Jay. I've yet to meet Jay, but Jay seems
Yeah.
like a good guy.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yes,
Yeah.
No, one of my stories that
Jay
like
Bird, you know.
Jay Bird, yeah.
one of the
Mom.
stories that I'm like, man, yeah, my mom's definitely a hippie. Is one time, so me back home where my mom lives, I've got like two homies that are like just like me. They're in the sports. They just, you smoke pot. Like, what? You're an idiot. Like, they didn't drink, whatever. And, like as you get older, these things start they started, we all started drinking kinda. Then they started smoking pot. He's like, yo, bro. He was like 11th grade. He's like, bro, guess who I
was that?
smoked weed with last
At a
night?
party.
And I was like, I started naming some people. Like, no, dude, your mom. And I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't know what I know
I
about
got
like
yelled
weed
at.
now. I called him like, Mom, are you fucking kidding me? You're smoking weed with my fucking friends? Like, the fuck? She's like, well, I don't.
Didn't know they would be there.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not that big of a
And
deal.
I was like, dude, like, but the thing is, like, that's one thing. Like, at the time, that was like a thing. Like, your mom.
yeah. Dennis says it every week about me.
Like,
Yeah.
and your mom was a joke.
Dennis
Like,
has a
dude,
crush.
guess who I smoke weed with? And I'm like, I don't like your
Your
mom.
mom.
I was like, why? Fuck. And I was like, all right, gotta go, dude. And like, bloop. The thing is, like, I don't know, was it cool? It was Tony Bordner.
Yeah.
That's like Dennis's go-to joke.
Yeah.
His mom joke. So that must have hit him on like a whole
when
different.
we get bored, he's like, who should we call next? I'm like, I don't Stan, maybe your mom.
So that rocked Dennis to his core when someone hit him up and was like, "Nah,
Yelled at me.
guess again,
Oh.
your mom, bro."
Yeah. That was a tough one to swallow.
And then I had to call Tony and go, what are you doing calling Dennis?
Snitches get stitches, Tony.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Speaking
ratted
of
me out.
that, that's what we were going to say. I said, don't you want to hear my street fight stories?
Why, you've been in some street fights? As a biker chick, absolutely.
Before that, high school.
Oh, some high school fights.
All right, Mom, you get one.
I get one. Okay, well,
Jesus Christ.
one time I was dating this guy who was kind of an asshole. And he
What's
was
his name? Put him on blast.
Mike Hassel.
You
and he was a
motherfucker.
hassle.
You
I also
motherfucker.
say,
You
"Don't
piece of
hassle
shit,
me."
Mike
Yeah.
Hassel.
He was cheating on me.
Ah.
And he was going to meet me at some hour at some bar, and I went to another bar with my friend, Patty. You know Patty
Yep.
Radigan. And we're sitting there at the bar, and all of a sudden she's like, oh, Len, look, there's Mike. And Mike walks in with some other little chippy girl.
Some bimbo.
Yeah, and I see him, I see her, and she like, he walks right by, she looks at me and goes, what's the matter? I'm with Mike and you're not? I was like, you should have kept your mouth shut. So we're sitting there and we wait, and she headed back towards the bathrooms, and my friend Patty goes, hey, Len. She just went back for the bathrooms. So we went back there, and all of a sudden she's like, I don't want to fight you, I don't want to fight you. Now, meanwhile, I'm like 5'1", and at the time maybe weighed 110, maybe.
How much does she weigh?
I don't
How
know.
tall
She's
is she?
taller than
How
me.
tall?
I don't know, maybe 5'6", 5'5",
Okay,
you
okay,
know, average girl
okay.
size.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, she was with her friend too. Well, my friend Radigan, I called her Rat at the time. Now she goes by Patty. Anyway, Patty grabbed her friend by, it was a huckapoo shirt. Remember those button downs with the bright collars, and they were kind of stretchy. So she grabbed her friend so that she wouldn't get involved.
Huh.
And the friend kind of like bounced back and stretched and spilt beer all over. So Patty was handling her.
Was that
and
like the
other-
cue, like, fight?
No, I already had her up against the wall by her neck, and I had shoes on with heels with boots. Between the wall and my boot heel was her stomach. Over and over and over. She
You kept
ended up.
front kicking her in the stomach?
Oh yeah, she went to the doctor. I think the hospital actually,
How do you know?
because Mike told me he took her. And then he comes back and thinks I'm gonna go with him. He thinks, oh, I'm fighting over him. I was like, but everybody was calling
Kick
me
rocks.
Ali, and I got free drinks like for the rest of the night.
Wow. Just that night, or?
Well, that night, yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're
That
gonna
was
do
one.
with you, Leonard, we're gonna show the rest of your pieces that you have available, and then we're gonna kick you out of here.
Okay.
We just need
Grab the pile of pennies. There's more. I need the one that goes.
This
with
could be a 3-hour show, though, I feel. So we'll definitely do this again, Lynn.
Oh, because I have too many stories, right? This was the first one.
Well, too
Back
many
to the art.
stories, and then it's also a mom's perspective of her fighter
that way.
son.
Okay, I'm looking in there.
I know. Down lower and
Okay.
straight out. There it is.
Okay, this was the first one.
That's the queen.
Queen Metamorphosis. Because
Queen
she metamorphosized into a queen.
Okay. Do you have any meaning behind the king and the queen?
Well, Well, that's close. I don't
Did
know.
you
They
watch a
need to
weird
go-
movie?
Nope, they just need to go together.
Okay.
This one I did recently. My brother passed away,
Okay.
and this is where I put.
Down, way
this is-
down,
I can't
way down.
see.
Put it in front of you. Put it like it's big.
Yep.
Okay, let's go that way.
Okay, perfect. This is where the emotion went from that.
So
about
your brother died, and
I
what
did.
does this symbolize? This is obviously an abstract.
Yeah,
Painting.
There's just the emotion is in it. It's
So you were like, my brother's dead.
I was crying. And
You're crying. Are there tears actually on this painting?
maybe I might have went.
That's shit. You should have said yes.
Anyway, yeah. So, and we used it at his little memorial service too.
Okay.
And then this one, I made for Jay, almost as a joke, because he's another one that only likes my stuff that's realistic, and he lives in Hawaii, and he's in the Coast Guard. So this one is actually my abstract interpretation of. Did I write
Pull
it
it back
here?
a little bit. Pull down, down.
Hama.
Whoa, way the
What's
fuck
that
off.
say?
I don't know. Loa, you're the one that
Kanaloa.
fucking wrote it.
Canaloa. Yeah, but I don't have my glasses, so I can't read it.
You wrote it.
Yeah, but I wrote a lot of stuff I don't remember. I'm old.
You did a lot of drugs.
That's not what. So this actually, he is where? Do I have it upside
Oh,
down?
he's in the. He's
Yeah,
in it.
he's right there. That's the god of the ocean, the Hawaiian god of the
That's
ocean.
Jay.
No, the
Oh.
Hawaiian,
The Hawaiian
god of the
Oh, I was gonna say I was looking
Oh.
for Jay in the picture.
No,
Yeah, I was
Kana-
like, that's what he looks like.
Kanaloa. It's an abstract of.
Have you ever seen Moana?
Yes.
Did Moana have any play in this painting?
No, I was thinking I was blue because they like the color blue, and I was trying to do something.
Who's they?
Jay and Brianna. It was done for him, and of course they didn't want it.
Oof.
So that's why I ended up doing those other 3 pieces, and I asked you, do you think your pick-uni brother will like
Yeah.
these?
Yeah.
They were still abstracts, but they were a lot simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your monochromatic works usually makes it into our houses. It's when you fucking have like pink and yellow and purple and like it's like this doesn't match any part of my house. And it's not of me, and I don't even really know exactly what it's of.
This one's going in the closet.
Yeah. I'm at a point now, like, you can just keep it. I don't want it. Or sell it.
Maybe you hurt her feelings though when you like that. You
I
ever think
just,
about
No,
it?
because
listen.
I know
No,
what they like
she
and what
is
they
a
don't like.
giver. Okay? If you say yes, she'll just keep it coming. You gotta put up a little bit of a wall. And then she'll try, like, right? She now knows we like certain things. So then she caters to us in that manner.
Okay.
Right? It's like, Stan, like, do you want fucking this color paint in your car? You're like, no.
I was actually going to make you a t-shirt today. that
You
said,
should.
"They
You
call
still
me
should."
Stan the man. Or they call me the man.
You
That
still
would have been a
should.
great shirt. You still can, yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, I put a thing on Instagram last night because I'm walking around Donna's house and there's a painting I did in her kitchen, a
One-
painting I did in her bathroom.
One more time. What's your
You're kicking me off.
Instagram?
Bird on a Whim 25.
Do you have a website yet?
No, but it would be birdonawhim.com. I have
Facebook?
Bird on a Whim 25 or Lynn McCreary.
When you
Or
get
just
back
bird
to
on
your
a
house,
whim.
are you going to leave today, right? Tomorrow? Maybe next week or the week after. When you get back to your house, we figure out Skype. We'll get you back on, and we'll have you put up some of the pictures on Skype.
Okay, if they're
FaceTime, whatever you want to
interested.
call it. Absolutely, they'll be
Well, we're
interested.
gonna get a feed. Hang on, I just told you I put up that post on the story of, well, even my mom thinks I'm the coolest of my brothers.
Right.
And 2 people hit me up like, whoa, she got some really cool stuff. I'm like, yeah, if that's what you like.
Yeah.
Lots of you.
Some
No,
people
I
are
think,
really
hang on,
into
I
that
think
art.
you have really. I'm just over. It's like if you only listen to Eminem.
Like me?
Huge M&M.
No, that's it. Only Eminem. That's it. Only Eminem.
You got your boy Anthony back. Like, you better not say nothing bad, Menace.
If you listen to only Eminem, you would get sick of Eminem.
This is true.
That's argumentable.
Only Eminem.
That's argumentable.
Only Eminem. Only Eminem.
Well, that's why I'm on a whim whim because I change up my stuff.
All right, only.
It's good to do everything
all
on a whim.
Absolutely,
and always be
I change
adaptable.
Eminem is the best.
He's very fun.
All right, so let's go with some. All right,
That's why it's bird on
you
the Wing.
only listen to Mystical.
I'm bird because my parents named me that when
You
I was little.
only listen to Mystical. That's it. That's it.
What do you got? You only got like 3 songs then. 2 songs.
Danger.
Yeah. What songs does he have?
Da-
What's that one song?
Get on the flow.
Yeah.
I
Watch
feel
yourself.
right here. Yeah. If you only listen to that, yeah, it's good. But that's all you listen to. You'd be like, I'm good. So in that sense, I've been listening to Mystical for 32 years.
But I switched this stuff up.
No, I put her. Hang on. And when you get outside of your realm, I go, hey,
That's amazing.
that's really good, don't I? But when I see something I've seen like 20 times in a different color, I'm like,
Here's what we need. We need an abstract or whatever art comes out of your head, a Menace and the Man painting.
deal.
I actually
Even if
did
it's like
one.
a little.
I
Deal.
did one. It's called Menace and the Man episode whatever because I was listening to you guys and I was just painting.
That's
I have
amazing.
one.
I have yet to see it. I want
Well,
to see
Stan wants that in his room.
I thought about bringing it and giving it to
No,
somebody.
hang on. I would like you to take our logo, keep us. Because the thing is, and she was always like, hey, Dennis, what do you think about this? I'm like, stop right there. Don't do any more shit. Because she's all about layers.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes too much is too much. Sometimes less is more. Okay?
This is true.
And she's an animal. And she did drugs. And sometimes she gets crazy.
it. We all do, Dennis. Not do drugs. We all get crazy.
You're right.
And if you grew up in the 70s, chances are pretty good you did drugs.
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Stan's dad definitely did drugs.
No, my dad was just a pothead. My dad's never done
That's a
anything.
No?
Yeah, just weed, but yeah, not
still
the
drugs.
worst drug.
And
But even,
it wasn't like I did it all the time, over and over and
Well,
over.
every weekend's all the time, Mom.
No, I did
Before we
it
get
all.
you out of here, the way that you said your friend hitting up you saying I smoked weed with your mom, it's a little different. But like I remember the first time me and my cousin got caught smoking weed by my mom in my house. I was like 13, 14. And remember like the white weed?
Give me
like
that. Let me show
White
you.
Widow. It was called White Widow Hydro. No, my mom came from like a drug addict family. So she thought we were like smoking crack or smoking coke or something. So she was like, oh my God, what are they smoking? And showed it to my dad. And it was just white hydro. And she was like, oh my God, what is this? And my dad was like, oh, that's just really good weed. You know?
We had like chronic.
And then the weed didn't get thrown out. Like the weed got confiscated, but it didn't get thrown out. Went right into my
Somebody gave
dad's
mine-
pipe, right into my dad's joints, and then I
Somebody gave
realized.
my mother a couple of joints, which she put in her top drawer and had forever, and she eventually gave
Penny?
them to me. Yeah.
Penny was smoking the...
No, but somebody gave them to her
Smoking the
to try when she
ganja?
was younger than me.
Oh.
You know, when she was like in her 40s.
We like to call it the devil's lettuce.
Somebody gave
Yeah,
it
Menace
to
and the
her,
Man.
and I mean, you do the CB oil all the time. Where do you think that comes from?
Mom, I know where it comes from. I've done all my research on these things. No, hang on. So that's maybe one thing you don't know is I used to be so against weed. I did all my research. I've done a couple edibles in my life. I'm like, this stuff's actually amazing, and it's really good for you.
And you take CBD, right?
Well,
Sometimes.
I have. So PSEG does a little drug testing, and I don't want to even throw up the chances of.
Right? That's why I don't.
That's why what?
I don't
Don't what?
take that CBD oil stuff because I get drug tested sometimes too.
You should be taking it.
It's actually really good for you. Yeah, but it's actually really good for you once you get into it and you see like all the benefits and stuff, and now like science is catching up to the industry, if you will.
It's legal in the
I've been
UFC.
saying legalize pot forever, not just for smoking it, but for all different reasons that you can use the plant.
What's the laws in Pennsylvania at the moment?
You can smoke pot now.
It's
a little bit.
recreational,
I think it's just medicinal.
but it's decriminalized.
Yeah.
Here, they say it's decriminalized, but it's really not.
It's like a
Well, that's
smell.
because
Okay, get out of here,
federally-
kid.
Yeah, like
federally
the
it's-
cop don't want the paperwork and they'll let you go, but
federally it's still a crime.
yeah.
Even though certain states, almost all states at this point, have legalized it.
For sure.
Mhm.
So, but until it's federally legalized, it's actually not legal anywhere.
Yeah. All right.
It's pretty legal in Las Vegas.
Vegas. Well, I wanted to even ask.
Colorado.
I got sidetracked, but I wanted to ask Austin Vanderford if he's into the CBD or the
yeah.
marijuana, because Oregon it's legal.
Yeah.
grow it, smoke it, do whatever you want. Similar to California.
Same thing in Colorado.
Yes, similar to Colorado as well. But like that's like you could walk down the street and smoke.
Yeah.
Massachusetts is actually like that now
Let's
Just wanted to get him on.
yeah, we're gonna get Anthony on here for a few. We're gonna kick Leonard out of here, and then we're gonna wrap this sucker up.
Okay. Nice talking to y'all.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, she came all the way from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
I gotta get out.
Anthony, you'll be right here.
Here, honey.
Thank you.
Where are you gonna put Anthony?
He's gonna sit where I was sitting.
All right.
I don't have the Emperor's chair.
Out of you without keeping on my face.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Do a little moving around.
Yeah, I'll take my phone.
Adios. Look. Deal. Your turn.
My first interview. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I never interviewed with anybody before.
Well, we're gonna get into the real shit.
Let's do it. I'm
Into the real shit.
I'm like an open book, so is there a right or left or no?
Yeah, there is.
No. See what we got camera-wise. I wish that one would move a little bit, but we'll just go these ones. So, Anthony, how are you?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Scoot a little more this way. There you go.
Alright.
Welcome to Menace and the Man.
Yes. It's my-
Stan the Man, Dennis the Menace Bermudez,
and Anthony Scooby Dooby Doo.
and Anthony Scooby Dooby Doo.
That's right, Scooby. Like I said before, thank you for having me. This is my first interview ever, anywhere.
Ever.
So throw
You
the
never played any
questions at me.
sports?
I did play sports, but I don't think I was good enough to get an interview.
Not even the newspaper, huh?
Not even newspaper. You know,
So you didn't start.
I started outside linebacker for football. Our team did very well. You know, Long Island championship type thing. But no, I never had any one-on-one interviews.
You never had a job interview?
I've had plenty of those.
Well, this will be way better than those. A little different
I would
as well.
assume so. Just don't ask me what my best skills are. You know.
No, we want your drug stories. Apparently,
Oh,
that's where we're gonna go
drug
now. It's drug
stories.
stories, street fights, and
Street fights. I got plenty of those.
Your thoughts on the sport of MMA?
On MMA. All right. Well, so Dennis the Menace and I currently work together.
Yep.
Before I met this guy, I had no clue who the fuck he was.
Hang on, I came in. I would like to assume like pretty incognito, right? I wasn't like I'm a fighter.
No, you were pretty incognito.
I was trying
You
to
were.
be like, "What do you do?" I did a little. I dabbled.
Yeah, it took a few times to be like, "What did you do? What did you do?" And then finally, I think I remember the day. It was Jamie. He was like, "What did you do, Dennis?" And you're like,
No, Jamie knew.
Jamie knew. It was someone else. You're like, "I was a professional UFC fighter," and everyone was like,
Well, I remember I asked Dennis, like, are you telling your coworkers? Because all dudes, right? You're around all guys. Someone has to have known. He's like, nope, keeping it secret. I'm not letting it on at all. You know,
Well,
I want to be Dennis.
I remember back in December, we did that physical test.
Right.
It was like 2 degrees out. We had to
Yeah,
go
it's pretty
outside, do
cold.
whatever. I remember you were in the room, and I did the test, whatever. I left, and I was like, all right, guys, have a nice day. I remember you were like specifically like, hey, take care, man. Didn't know who you were. And then like when we got to that, the HR meeting, when it was like, this is who your coworkers are going to be. This is who made it, you know?
Oh,
the 15 people.
Yes.
We're all looking around like, all right, like this is who made the cut. And I looked, I'm like, all right, I remember that guy. I remember this guy. I remember that guy. And then I still didn't know who you were or anything of your background and whatnot. But it's funny because after you said that you were a UFC fighter and then like I followed you on Instagram, a few of my buddies actually like have you. I'm like, oh shit, you know, so you are pretty, you know, like,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
You ever see that movie, Can't Hardly Wait?
No, I haven't.
Back in the day, like the kid movie, it's like a high, like
Yes.
and he's like,
Where wasn't he like jerking off or he was like trying to prep his wiener in the bath? Who was it? Green? Seth Green?
yes, he spills something, and he's like,
Yeah,
blow
he's in
drying
the
something.
bathroom. Yeah.
But even one of my favorite scenes in that movie is when the guy, they all start laughing at the one guy, and he's like, I can kick everyone's ass in this room. You know, Menace didn't come you didn't come into PSEG with that mentality. You know? You came in like, nope, totally under the radar. I don't want to talk to anyone about what I did. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, like, so we did the climbing school, like, so in my head, we're all at the same level, so I don't have to be like, I'm better than everybody in here, or I'm worth so much. So, like, I kept it pretty, like, low-key, but the first day out in the field, like, I was with, like, a foreman, a lineman. I'm like, you know, and they asked, like, what I used to do. I'm like, you ever watch UFC? Like, yeah. And so, you know, we do a lot of, like, in between jobs, we have some free time, you know. And, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to, like, be cool. So I'm like, hey, this is something I did. And I'd show them, like, a highlight reel. Like,
that you have that highlight reel, like, on saved, you know? Like, that's, like, one of your screen saved. Like, you ready for it? Yeah.
No, hang on. To be honest with you, I probably shown my highlight reel only I can count on two hands.
No.
I swear.
Bro, I think I've seen it shown to two hands.
I never saw your highlight reel.
You've seen it shown twice.
No, I've seen you show it a few times.
No chance.
100%. We're not going to get into the specifics,
Fine.
but I've seen it shown. 100%. Especially drunk. That's what it must be. You might be drunk and you don't even realize.
I
you're
recall
showing
showing it in front of you twice.
Okay. What were the two instances? Can you speak on them?
Nope.
Okay.
All of the other times.
No, I don't know.
You don't remember.
No chance. No, hang on. You probably showed my highlight reel more
No
than
chance.
I do.
I've never shown your highlight reel.
Stan.
I've never. Why would I show your highlight reel? I say he's in the UFC.
And then you're like, here, look him up, and then you press the click.
Nope, never shown your highlight reel.
Very well.
But it would be a funny conversation piece.
All right, so Anthony, and you can lie to us too.
All right.
So if you need to like make it sound more badass than it really was, I want that.
Okay.
Well, and this is all for legality.
Yeah.
Tell us a hypothetical
fight you've been in. Why did it happen? How'd it go?
Well, how about this?
All right.
You've been in street fights, right?
You know, I've been in plenty of street fights, and like, you know, this all goes back to, I hate to say, like,
You're good right there.
This all goes back to like high school in a way, and you know.
Go on.
I don't know what that was. Technical difficulties, but you know, like our high school.
Mom, I'm trying to do a show.
Mom, make me a sandwich. Gosh. So, you know, our high school, we got very rowdy. So it wasn't more like street fights. It was more like high school on high school fights, you know, like brawls.
Those are good ones.
Flat out brawls.
I've heard of these.
I actually have like, I could tell you right off the top of my head, like 4 really good stories.
So what school did you go to?
I went to Valley Stream North High School. It's
And
located in Franklin Square.
What was your rival school?
Carey. Well, we had many. We had Carey.
Many?
We had Carey, which was in Franklin Square. And then we had South. So Carey was in a different district, and then Valley Stream South was our rival. Like, we're Valley Stream North, you're Valley Stream South. We automatically don't like each other.
Right.
It was like that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, and then Carey was just like, our schools are located in the same neighborhood, even though we're different districts, we don't like each other.
Right.
But before I get into those, I'll tell you my favorite fight. I was actually in 6th grade. It sounds a little lame, but I grew up with this kid on my block. His name was Sumit, some Indian kid. And we had, like, pretty much just, like, a rivalry, like, of, like, you know, like, F you, we live on the same block, I'm cooler than you, I'm bigger than you, whatever. So, me and this kid, one day, we lived in our backyards had a creek behind it, and we lived on the same block. So I went into the creek, and I threw eggs at his house, you know, through the creek, you know.
For, like, just no reason.
Just to start shit.
Okay.
Like, fuck you. So he comes up to me.
I'm privileged.
Nah. I grew up in a melting
Go back
pot
to
area.
India.
Yeah, exactly. It was like that kind of thing, you know. God rest his soul. The kid passed away now, but
damn.
anyways, so I throw the eggs. He comes up to me in school next day. He goes, "Hey, let me see your glasses. Let me see your glasses." I wear glasses. And he takes the glasses off my face. He tries to slap me.
You gave him the glasses.
No, he just took them off my face, you know? And he tries to slap me. I do one of these. I'm like, no, you're not slapping me, dude, you know? And then the student teachers, whoever they saw it, whatever, broke it up, got taken to the principal, like, hey, listen, I heard you guys are fighting. And me and him, we both, like, looked at each other, and we were like, no, we weren't fighting. Like, we don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
So that same day after school, I'm standing with like
you killed him. That's why he's dead.
Maybe.
Whoa.
But I'm standing outside of the front school. After school, I'm with like me and like 2-3 of my buddies, and we're just hanging out. He comes up, he walks up to me, and we're like 12 years old at the time. He just drops his backpack and he just starts staring at me. Right?
It was on.
So I looked at my friends. I'm like, look at this fucking guy. Drop my backpack, and I start laughing. Like, what are you gonna do? I'll give him this much. He fucking drop kicked me like in the jaw, like straight up.
Like a straight, like a push kick straight, or
a
like
straight up like
left his
ding.
feet. Fucking
No, a straight up like a
Wow.
cheerleader kick, like
Wow.
right in my jaw. I fucking ate it, and I'm like, holy shit, this kid.
Were you
just,
bleeding?
No, but like it was like ding, unexpected. I'm like, whoa, this kid just fucking hit me in the jaw. So it's just right when school got out, so you can imagine like all like the little kids outside, blah blah. I just straight up 1, 2, 1, like boom, boom, boom,
That was a 3-2-3.
I guess a 3-2. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, it was a 3-2-3 kind of thing. Yeah, left, right, whatever. All right. So I gave him a quick 3-2-3, I guess. And I saw that he fell to the ground. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get in trouble right now. I got lucky that nobody saw that. Let me just walk away. So I walked down the sidewalk right next to where the cars are coming to pick their kids up.
In MMA, we call that the 3-piece in the soda.
So I did the 3-piece in the soda, And so I'm about like 20 feet away from him. I turn around, he's fucking running after me. So as he got close, I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. I took my leg out, just fucking kicked him right in his stomach as he's running full force at me. He falls down on the ground. He fucking hits his head on the fucking back of the cement, like bleeding out like there,
Damn.
We're in like 6th grade too. He still gets up though, but I kept walking away.
Oh, he's full contact.
He's
concrete.
full like one, like he's
Damn.
bing, like and he still wants to come after me. So I kicked him. I laughed. I kept walking,
Dog.
and then I walked away like 20 feet later, and then he got up from that with his head bleeding, and was able to blindside me in my ear right in front of the principal, and then the principal broke it up. And my neighbors at the time, they drove a minivan. The older brother came to pick us up. He like did some movie shit where like he pulled into the parking lot, opened the sliding door. He's like, "Aunt Jeff, come!"
So
and
while
we
you're
like
still
we
moving, you
ran from the
jumped in a moving
principal.
van.
We like jumped in, closed the door.
Oh,
We sped
wow.
off like as if we robbed a bank,
Well, the thing is, like, he knew exactly who you were. And you gotta come back the next day.
Exactly. So when I came back the next day, I got suspended. But rumor has it that when we left that day and we hopped in the van, he like put on a whole chase with like the student staff, like the body.
Oh, wow.
And like they like had to chase him down.
I would have just been like, wasn't me.
Yeah, right. I don't
Wasn't
know what
me.
you're talking about.
Did
That
you
was
catch
my
me? Wasn't me. It was a
that
kid who
was
looked
my
like
favorite
me. Am I the
fight
only kid with
story,
blonde
but-
hair in your school? Wasn't me.
I probably was,
Stan.
but
Wasn't me.
we just
Stan.
got called into the office earlier that day. So
Stan.
Wasn't me. And then you could have had your
All right,
parents.
all right,
too.
all right.
and
what's
then
your
my
graduating?
father.
What's your graduating class?
What do you mean? Like
How many
people?
kids?
I think we were like 450. Small school.
Yeah, it's not Socrates.
What about you? Mine was 300.
I'm sorry. I thought it was smaller. That's
All right,
even
what's
smaller.
yours?
I have no idea.
We are a D.
You have
school.
no
We were
idea your
D3.
graduating
We were
class.
D3.
No idea. Big school though. We were Division 1.
We were D3. Yeah. So like we didn't have. a lot
So
of
what?
people.
600? 800, Stan?
You had to have like 800.
I don't know.
He
What
went to
do
Lindenhurst.
yeah, I don't know. 500 maybe? No idea.
No way. I had like maybe
How do
maybe
you
my
have
numbers.
no
are off.
idea?
I have no idea.
Were you that absent in school? You have no idea.
Yes.
You couldn't even give me a 200 people ballpark?
No clue.
Stan, that's absolutely insane.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guarantee you we can call up 10 people right now and they would have no fucking idea how many people were in their high school.
I kind of want to do this now.
Yeah.
'Cause
I feel like
I just think you're retarded.
no chance.
It's not enough to say retarded. Just saying.
Yeah, no chance.
I think you're not that smart.
no chance. People would give you a bullshit number, maybe like, I don't know, 500, 600. I have no idea.
As long as I said with some confidence, be okay.
There could have been 300. There could have been 800. I have no idea.
It was probably more towards like 800 because we
That
were
many?
D3. We
That-
had at
that
least
sounds like a high
200-300.
number. Yeah.
For
well,
D1 though.
well, I
yeah,
know
that's
Valley
probably a lot.
Stream, they separate them.
To 3 schools. Yeah. And we
Yeah,
have a
Lindenhurst, I don't know.
big-ass
They don't
territory.
separate them, but there's Copeg right next
You
door.
have no clue.
No clue.
Stan, your life's on the line. How many kids did you graduate with?
If my life's on the line, I would
You
say
have one lifeline.
500.
Who are you
If
gonna
you're
call?
saying 300, he's saying 350 or whatever. You said 350, right?
Yeah, I would think
500 maybe?
No way, because that's like D2 then.
I have no idea.
Well,
then.
maybe my number's off.
Also,
Maybe we only had 200
hang on,
people.
also different times.
Why? How old are you?
He's
I'm
10 years.
24 years
He's
old.
10
Oh
years.
my God, you're still a baby.
junior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not a baby, but
No,
yeah, I'm
you're
a
still.
baby. Yeah. No.
Life hasn't
Maybe
thrown
too,
shit at you yet.
No,
Yeah,
he's
bro,
got,
life has thrown plenty of shit at
he's
me.
got
You know
a
what
good
I mean,
job,
though. You
He's
know what I
got-
mean,
dude,
though.
I'm fucking
He's
with
doing
you.
it.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't have kids yet.
So young.
another fight story, pretty funny one. was,
Value those years.
So you
Listen,
know the beefing high
This
school.
better be good.
This one's a good one. The beefing high school one.
Your last one you said was good.
Was it good?
No.
No, it wasn't. Really?
How old were you in this one?
This one I was 15.
I don't want it.
You don't want
I
it?
don't want
It's pretty good one.
I want like one you had like 2 years ago.
2 years ago I wasn't getting into fights, dude.
What was
I,
the last fight you got into?
like college? I didn't go to college, but like going out to college bars. Where
That
like,
sounds more up my
where
alley.
we brought.
than
All
when
right,
you
so
were
me
in
and my
high-
friends, we were like, we'd get drunk, we'd get rowdy, and we did this thing with the group message called 12 o'clock knockout.
Okay.
And it was, we'd go out with my friends like McKeeb's, like on Hempstead Turnpike over
Okay.
there. And at midnight, we'd say 12 o'clock knockout. And the biggest kid would just fucking find someone and knock him out for no reason.
The biggest kid.
Yeah, for no reason.
That's actually.
So
fucked
that
up.
was never
Remember
you.
No.
They did that one time. There was like a thing
I
on the
would-
internet.
So like if I was like hanging out with my friends, I'm the biggest guy. Like I'm not coming.
Nah, well, like they liked getting rowdy. I would just jump in, I got throw a few swings, but like it was like if you're the biggest kid here of the night, you did the initial like I'm gonna knock you out. That kid obviously has friends, so it's like we're all, then it turns into the brawl.
Wow.
Yeah, we did 12 o'clock knockouts.
I remember that.
My one friend, I'm not gonna say names,
'cause hang on,
like
because
literally
you
put a kid
are-
into the ambulance, like just off that knockout.
Because
punch.
I was in the UFC when this shit started happening.
The knockout thing. I remember.
Like
they were hitting
people
like
just
random
going,
people.
random
walking down
dude
the
not
street.
No,
looking
for,
at his.
for no reason, just bing. Yeah, it's
And I
fucked
was
up.
like,
It's fucked
man.
up. I'm not a fighter,
Well,
like,
the thing is, I'm like, man, because at the time I was getting mollywopped by UFC fighters and getting dropped,
Mollywop.
but getting back up and winning the fight. I'm like, man, hopefully one of these guys that doesn't know how to really punch does that to me, because I'm going to get up and I'm going to assassinate them.
Yeah, we just did it at a bar,
I know that's where you
this
can
kid,
find me.
this kid looks like a fucking jerk off. Let's hit him,
Ah.
But fight stories. I have like a lot of younger fight stories. Like there's been brawls where like kids are getting hit over the head with bats and shit like that. But we were still like 15, 16 years old.
I
We
would
weren't,
think
like,
Valley
fucking
Stream
22.
is like close enough to Queens and like a lot very popular.
You know,
You'd have some crazy.
what?
shit.
They nicknamed
Were you
it
the
Valley
whitest
Queens.
person in that school, or how's what
No,
kind
so my
of mix?
school.
You're the half and half,
No,
or
my
white
school,
kids? Or?
it was like a melting pot. So you have the 3 districts where Valley Stream South is literally in Queens, and Valley Stream Central is like right there, and then Valley Stream North is in Franklin Square. But we had the ESL program, so we had the white people, we had black kids from like Elmont
Okay.
and Jamaica. We had like Indian kids who couldn't speak English and like all this shit. So like it literally. Everybody posseed together. So, like,
Yeah.
the white kids are cool, the black kids are cool. Whatever. Not trying to be racist or anything like that.
Well,
Stan's
racist, so
But
Not
we
at
all
all.
stuck
What do you mean?
together. We all stuck together as, like, a school. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But, like, we definitely shared a lot of culture with each other.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Do you have any crazy street fighting stories that stick out?
Not really. I mean,
I'll tell
I
you
think
what.
I've.
I mean, we never really went over yours, but like I was in like a white school predominantly. There were some black kids, some Spanish, some neighboring towns, but like I had fucking vicious shit going on.
No, you bring them out every once in a while.
I've had some vicious when I hear other people's street fighting stories, I'm like, man, that's it.
yeah, like,
No,
I
you
mean,
you've had like 2 people come at you with a knife, right, Stan?
I had the machete one of them was at a job when I was an adult and Kusamana was there, and then the other one was on the corner. Like there was this back corner of the high school where basically a group of Spanish kids pulled up one day in like an SUV. One kid from Lindenhurst had beef with the other kid. We were all just standing there, and the kid's older brother hopped out and he started like talking shit. Like, yeah, that's right. You guys don't want nothing. Like you don't like started popping off like that. Like, that's right. No fight's going to happen. We knew if we rolled up, you guys wouldn't want anything. So,
You're like,
yeah, like 3 of us were like, wrong ones. You know what I mean? So
funny you say that because
my friend Cap was just grilling the kid, and the kid was like, went to get back in his truck, and then he stopped and went, the fuck you looking at? And he went, what are you looking at, essay? And started like saying dumb shit to him. So the kid was like, you want this? You want this? And the kid reached in his car, and we were like, what's he grabbing? He grabbed a fucking brown paper bag. He had a beer bottle in a brown paper bag, and he was like making it like he was going to hit someone. So then Cap like fucking rushed the kid, and the kid just turned and fucking cracked. Cap went to slam the door on the kid just cracked Cap with the bottle. So like fucking right at that moment, Cusimano came out of nowhere with like a Superman right hand and hit the kid, and then it just went off. Then as this little scuffle's going on, you run around the car, and the one kid hopped out of the one kid wouldn't get out of the car on our side right here, so we ran around to like get that kid out of the car, and a kid hopped out and just started waving a machete around and started like chasing me down with the machete. So I took like 3 steps back, like waiting for him to do a big swing and I'm gonna hit him, and then as he's coming at me, my cousin just ran up behind him and was like knocked him fucking cold.
Fuck out.
And then we just put the beats to these 4 Spanish kids. Like, it turned, it's one of those things. Like, I used to have this problem, too. Like, if it was a fight and my friends were there and someone was potentially coming at me or going to hurt, like, my boy, I'm in it. I'm not going to stand there. We had a lot of kids that would just stand there.
Yeah.
And get...
Oh, that's the majority.
Get told, like, you're a pussy. You're not going to do nothing. They'd be like, you're right.
Mickey Mouse.
Hang on. To be honest with you,
yeah,
that probably would have been me. Seriously.
Yeah,
No.
but I get it.
No way.
Well, no, hang on.
Nah, most
No
people,
way.
I get it.
If some dude would,
100%.
hang on. Now the thing is, it wouldn't be because like, yep, I'm afraid of you, but you're not worth
Just
my
not
time.
worth it. Yeah.
Like
If you really did kick the kid
now,
into a
if
coma.
I was having like a bad day, maybe, and you're like, yo, you're gonna do shit like, oh, that's funny, I'm not, because now I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, I'm a jolly, happy, go lucky guy. Somebody's like, yo, fuck you. You ain't gonna do shit. But like, you're right. And I do like one of those. I'm not gonna be like, what? Yes, I am. Because that's not me naturally.
Like, I've never been in a fight that I started. Ever in my life. I've never started a fight in my life. I've stood up for other people or shit just popped off, and I'm just not going to stand there.
I'm pretty sure I can say the same thing.
You have to fight. I'll tell you one time when me and my buddy, it was just me and my boy Paul, we were like at those college bars, whatever. And I was at the bar and I saw some girl and there was some really creepy kid. Like he was like grinding on her, dancing on her, but she had no idea. Like she's just standing there talking to her friends. And he's like, being all creepy. So I tried to like tap her on the shoulder to like let her know, like, yo, this like dude's like really creepy on you. And she like didn't realize. So we left the bar. It's like 3 a.m. and we went to.
I'm assuming she wasn't bad looking.
No, she was pretty good looking.
I'm not trying to like help out any girl that's not like if she's ugly. I'm gonna be like, hey,
she was pretty good looking.
This
she was
guy's
pretty good
grinding on
looking.
you. He's being
but anyways,
creepy.
dude, it's like 3 a.m. We go to a chicken spot. I think it's like not Popeyes, but like a bootleg Popeyes, and I see her standing there online. So I go tap her on the shoulder, and I'm like trying to be like, hey, listen, like I just want to let you know earlier some creepy ass dude was on you. That's why I was trying to talk to you.
That's why I want to talk to you right now.
Her man stepped in right away and was like, what the fuck you trying to talk to my girl for? Now, before I could even get a sentence out, this is how good one of my friends has my back. He goes, what, you got a fucking problem? You've got a problem, my boy? And I'm like in between them, like, no, I'm just trying to explain what's going on. And right away, they're like, let's take it to the parking lot. So it's just me and my boy Paul. We're standing outside. It's like dead winter, cold as hell. And we're about to fight, and these dudes were like with 20 fucking kids. And me and him are back to back like a movie, and we just look at each other like.
What's that?
We looked at
Fighter?
Street Fighter, some shit like that. I don't know the movie, but
what's the video game?
What video game?
Not Street Fighters, where the two brothers.
it was like that. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know the name, but we literally dapped each other up, and we're like, "Yo, you ready to fight some fucking dude?"
Not Bash Brothers.
Double Dragon?
Yes.
Double Dragon?
It
Double
was like
Dragon.
that. We fucking fist pounded each other. We had our back to back. We took on like 2-3 people, and then
Put
we
your
both
bandanas
ended
on.
up on the floor with like 20 kids stomping us out because we were outnumbered, But we
Wow.
kicked some ass before we were outnumbered.
Hang on, I thought the story was going to like, we
Beat some
fucked up
kids
like 2 guys, and then everyone else knew like they didn't want
No,
it.
it was literally
No,
a full out.
I
Like,
love that.
Everybody was kicking us. Like
I love
everybody
that.
from every direction was kicking us in the face, the stomach, the ribs. We were just outnumbered, and luckily a cop just happened to drive by and was like, "Hey, he broke it up."
We did
So
a fist
we
pump,
did a
and then we
fist
got
bump. We're like,
pummeled.
"Yeah," we're like, "You ready?" And then that was that. And then we're leaving. We were in the middle of Hempstead. These like 2 random dudes from Hempstead drove up to us in a Charger, like, "Yo, y'all need a ride home?" And we're like, "Yeah, but we live in Franklin Square." He's like, "All right, $10. We get in the backseat of this dude's car. They're fucking
he kicked your
smoking
ass.
a blunt. No, and they're like, we're bleeding out in his car. Like, my boy's got his eyebrow cut. I got my face bleeding. And they're like, y'all look like you got in some shit. And we're like, yeah. And we told them the story I just told you guys. And
You know what? I always tried to even avoid the fights, and I didn't want any involvement in the fights, but it always wound up being either a good friend or a cousin, a family member was there.
You
like,
have to back
I
him.
have to
You
do
have
something.
to. You
Yeah, I
can't.
have to do
Otherwise,
something.
you're a bitch.
Yeah.
You're a
No,
bitch.
you're not.
Yes, you are.
You can try to
If my
diffuse
best friend is getting
you
his
can-
ass beat, I
No,
have to.
no,
Whether or
no,
not
no,
I
no,
know
no,
I
no,
lose.
no.
My boy just came up
Hang
to me and
on.
was like, "Who's fucking
on.
with him?" Whether or not there's
Sometimes
20
you can't
kids.
do
No,
that.
this
Sometimes you
you
can't.
two motherfuckers.
Are real ones.
No, it's Long Island and you guys.
No.
We're like, you guys like what? Like, what's up? Like, I'll come over like, hey, what's up, man? You good? Like,
but that doesn't work.
I've
it
tried to talk
works
people off the ledge.
every time with me.
I've tried to talk people off the ledge many
and they
times.
still want to
and
fight you.
They want
They
it.
still want to fight.
You see it,
Maybe
bro.
it's the other Long Island in them, like the Long Island in the other people.
Maybe
I mean, probably both.
Trust me, I'm not a fighter. I don't go out looking for a fight. I'm
Maybe when
no
I was in better
macho.
shape, I was more intimidating or imposing. Now people look at me and are like, "Oh, this kid, I got this kid. I'm gonna fuck this kid up." And I'm
Yeah.
does it happen? No. Never. Last street fight, and I'm not saying, like I said, I don't start fights. I haven't lost an altercation
He
since
doesn't
I was a
start
little
me,
kid.
ends him.
Just like I've told you, I get into street fights. Not condoning this. I throw a feint in, and people bite super hard on that one feint. Like I'll put my hands up, throw one little feint, and they just fucking spaz out, and then I'm like, there it is, and you just shoot that fucking two.
You got that?
Yeah, I got that.
Just look like you know what you're doing.
I have
Feint
a
them
funny
hard.
story when you mentioned with the bottle breaking. So I was saying before how my high schools we rivaled with each other. We were in we were 14, 15 years old, and we were drinking at this spot where like the other high school that's like their territory, quote unquote. So they thought it was all older kids. So like these seniors, so like they're all like 18 at the time. They came over and they thought we were seniors.
This
and
better be good.
No, this one is good.
Does anyone bleed in it?
Yes.
Alright.
They rallied up, and we're all like 14, 15 years old, like guys, girls. There's like 50 of us who are drinking, having a good time in the woods. And they rallied up, and they did like single formation. Like they planned this shit. And it's all the seniors from this one high school from South. And they roll up, and we're looking at them like, oh, no, they must be friends. And some of us are like, nah, like they look pretty threatening. And they're like, no, whatever. So they get close to us, and you just hear ding. My one friend got hit over the head with a bottle of 151 Bacardi, and my other friend got hit over the bottle head with like some random like Captain Morgan type shit. They're fucking like bleeding. They walk themselves to the hospital. We all get our asses kicked because these dudes are like 18 years old. We're like 14, 15, and we're outnumbered.
Damn.
So my boy, the one that got hit over the head with the bottle and like fucked it, he got stitches, whatever. His sister is like a badass bitch. Like she will fuck a dude up, like no playing. So she found out who it was. She went to his job, worked at a pizzeria on Merrick Road or in Valley Stream. She went behind the counter. She fucked him up, like right behind the counter, right there. Gave him the works. Then she went to the mother's house, kicked down the door with a few other girls, and fucked the mother up.
Yeah,
That's
That was a pretty
insane.
badass story, yeah.
there's crazy people out there.
She fucked
So
up
was
the
she
dude.
Spanish?
No, full out white Italian girl. She fucked up the dude at his job, then went to the mother's house, kicked down the door, and fucked the mother up.
Like at first when you're telling, I'm like,
Some girls are
What
about
you-
that life.
I-
for
at first-
hitting
at
my
first
friend
I-
over the head with the bottle.
at first like, what's she look like? And I was like, as you continue, I'm like,
But
she's
you know,
obviously. Crazy.
I hope my friend's not watching the show. She's pretty good looking.
She's obviously
like,
insane.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not far from Baldwin. You know, Baldwin's kind of hood, but there's white people
yeah,
there.
I grew up. I moved after high school to Baldwin Harbor, so yeah.
I
know what you're
dated a
talking
girl
about.
from Baldwin for years, and it was just funny.
from like the heart of Baldwin.
Yeah, she was
You
like
might
a,
as well call it Hempstead.
she was like a thugged out bitch, and she like you know, we dated for years. She like took to jiu-jitsu, took to fighting, wanted to learn how to fight. So I showed her jiu-jitsu, showed her an arm bar, showed her a triangle, all this shit. Me and her broke up. She dated the next guy, and like they like play grapple, and she armbarred him instantly and was like, "I think we're done. Like we're done."
Like you're a bitch.
She was like, "We're like." That was the moment where she was like, "No attraction,
Yeah.
no nothing." Like armbarred him.
She has more testosterone than him.
She was just about it. Some girls are like that, you know. And
She needs a man that could defend her, not someone.
but
that
she
should
was that
defend.
chick too. That's why I thought of her. Like whenever fights would break out, she'd be running in like to
Yeah,
fucking
like this
throw.
girl will fight the guys. Like,
Yeah,
straight
like
up.
she would-
fuck them up.
Me and her met because I told her a joke like, "Hey, you soccer kicked my friend in the face one time." Like that's how we like started our courtship. You know what I mean?
Then Stan wonders why like the girls he dates are like unstable. They're all crazy.
You go for the ones that fight you.
Yeah.
Well, they're all crazy. Women in general. You heard Austin even the way he froze on that Paige assaulting him.
Stan hates girls, by the way.
I love girls. I love girls. I don't know why Dennis always says this. I love them. He wants me to.
I'll tell you what.
Embrace this image.
If you hate girls, I have one on my list. So you know who it is. I'll send her your way.
Well, wait. What do you want me to do to her?
Pie.
Fuck her and leave her, or
No, I want you to kick the shit out of her.
no? I would never hit a woman. I would never put my hands on a woman.
I thought
ever.
you hate women.
I don't. We'll save that for next episode. Let's wrap this one up.
All right.
This shitty roller. This is like a train wreck of an episode.
Yeah, it kind of is. You know, right here with this, it kind of feels like you're on like a radio talk show host.
Because you are.
You are.
Yeah. No, but
This is better. These are better than the microphones.
I meant like a musical, like.
This is the best microphone you could buy.
If like people on Hot 97 saw these mics, they'd be like, "Oh, you guys are fucking doing
These are
big."
400 a pop, my dude.
Shit.
They'd be like, "Oh, you guys are doing big things here," and then we'd be like, "Nope,
Nope.
we're not doing shit."
Big is in things.
Yep, we're not doing shit. But Anthony, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We'll make you. We love trying to make people regulars on the show, but we haven't made anyone a regular yet.
I don't think I'm gonna be a regular. I'm
me
a
either.
little intoxicated right now.
Are you?
Me neither. Yeah, dude. I had one of those 10% beers.
I don't know what that is.
It's a
It's a-
Belgian
it's a
beer,
beer that's
with
10%.
And before that,
What's the brand? What's the? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it is.
I bought-
Are they sponsoring you guys?
No,
Son,
you
fuck
watched
them.
me buy it.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but they're not sponsored. So
Oh,
fuck them.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know.
Touche.
You know.
All right, well, let's wrap this one up. We might
right.
call this episode 44. We'll see what happens. See how much.
What do you mean?
We'll see how much we even recorded. Like I told you, this episode's a little fucked.
This one might go in the dumps. So, well, if this one goes in the dumps, let me know because I'll freestyle.
If it goes in the dumps, I'm gonna fucking run my
You're
head
gonna
through
what?
a wall.
Freestyle on
I'll
it?
freestyle a little bit.
Do you need a beat?
I'm from Valley, Queens.
Can you give him a beat?
Give me.
Bro, I don't want to fucking get him a beat right
Get
now.
him a beat.
Why don't you
I'll
beatbox
tell you
for
a
him?
beat. No.
Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you a beat.
Hang on.
Bro,
What,
There you go. Get
what
him a
beat
beat.
do you want?
I'm not a rapper, but everyone from my neighborhood knows how to rap.
Hang
if
on.
that makes sense.
No, fuck that.
He's
I
like-
need.
Stan's like, I gotta walk away from this before this gets too bad.
No, I'm
Oh,
getting you a beat
okay.
right now.
Put on Lil Uzi, EXO Tour Life Instrumental. I will
Lil-
kill that.
Uzi. All right.
I will kill that. This one. Is that too loud?
I'll have you know, I'm a very harsh critic to white rappers.
It's
So.
a little loud.
No, it's not.
I'll kill this, bro.
He's like, yo, lower the music in my
Like I
headphones.
said though, for the record, I'm not a rapper.
All right.
I'm a rapper.
You just said you were. And put a beat
No,
on.
I'm not a rapper, but everyone from my neighborhood knows how to rap.
All right. Let him do his thing, Stan. Stan,
Nice.
shut up.
I'm his hype man.
So hype me up right now.
I told to shut up.
This is where the chorus is, so you know. Sitting reminiscing when I ain't have a pot to piss in. Now I'm chilling, stacking money like the dishes in the kitchen. Fuck it, load of clipping. I'm not talking Griffin, Scottie Pippen. Now that I got it, everybody wanna get it. Wanna see me fail, but have my backup when I'm fucking winning. She wants to hear me rap and beat that pussy into submission. Never catching feelings, I'm forever on a mission. And she don't want shit but the money. All these fucking secrets, all these fucking demons. She always say she love you. She don't really mean it. I speak it, you don't know it. Know it, you don't speak it. Shout out brother Craig, my brother till I'm dead. Dennis got an A, y'all, he's really trying to spray, y'all, so let him fucking talk. We'll put you in the graveyard. Stan's got a body aiming straight for your body. I'm fucked up. I'm a little drunk, so I slurred my words.
You wrote that, and you've been waiting to spit that shit.
Ah, yeah, you're right. I did write that a long time ago.
Stan, what the fuck?
I did,
What?
a little
Let
bit.
him do his thing.
A little
How did
bit.
I not let him do
Well,
his
you
thing?
wrote that
It
long.
was obviously written.
Yeah, he
I wrote
definitely-
that. I wrote that when I first heard that beat. I'm like, this is a fire beat. So I was drunk one night, turned the instrumental. And
So
I
you-
wrote that.
Before you started rapping, you were saying you don't rap.
I don't rap.
You do
I'm
rap.
not a rapper.
You do
no,
rap.
I don't though. I
You do.
don't. No, I
That
don't.
wasn't
I don't
bad.
promote myself as a rapper.
But you write rhymes.
No, that was the only one I wrote.
You come up with freestyles in your head.
When I'm bored,
He's
but
an
I don't write
artist.
them.
Yeah, I
He's
feel like
an artist.
I feel like we need to push him in this direction a little bit.
No, we gotta push him.
I'm
we
a lineman.
gotta push him up poles.
I'm a lineman now. Yeah, you got Dennis has to push me up poles.
I feel like the same way Menace gave up his fighting career to become a lineman, you gave up your rap career to become a lineman.
No. Like I said, that was the only rhyme I ever written, so no.
But yeah, that's probably a big thing.
I
Valley
almost cut
Stream.
off your rhyme when you said like Stan got a body. I'm like, yeah, fat one.
I should have.
Well, it's a gun.
Yeah, I studied my words. I meant to say Stan's got a shotty aiming straight for your body. He catches homies like it's his fucking hobby.
Word. All right. Well, I'm gonna shut this down right now.
All right, shut me down, please.
High
Before I say too much.
Very nice. High five, Stan. High five.
Nice having you, Anthony.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Episode.
I actually hope nobody from work sees this because that'd be pretty embarrassing.
No, I'm gonna promote it.
No, you won't.
Yes, I am.
Fuck you.
Episode 43.75.
No, what do you mean?
I'll see what the audio's like. Crack a Zach,
All right.
who dropped us said we were fucking up. So
All right. Very well.
I'll see what we got here.
All right. Well, see you later.